This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
This is the Monday song. It's Monday all day long. On Monday you can't go wrong. That's why I sing this song. So get yourself up from your slumber. Off to work, no time to lumber. No shower pressure, call the plumber. He was here last week, so you've got his number. Monday's the day you're feeling blah. You wish you didn't feel so blah. I can't stop saying the word blah. So blah, 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 blah. The rat race isn't always fun. You can't escape the morning sun. This Monday song is finally done, but your miserable week has just begun.
What's today? Monday?
Monday.
Recovery Monday.
Monday?
Oh, already?
Where'd the time go?
What do you mean Monday?
I hate Mondays.
Where'd the time go?
Mondays are the worst.
Oh, I hate Mondays.
So begins another wonderful work week.
No!
Wake up, El Paso. Buzz Adams is back.
Okay. Are you done?
Let's get back to work. Showtime.
Only on 95.5 KLAQ.
Do you think it's all that unusual that I keep things like fundraising letters from the Donald Trump for President campaign?
Only when you explain it as you're keeping Nazi memorabilia.
Historical memorabilia.
In the context of, so we never forget. Like it's going to be a Holocaust item, a Holocaust museum item in the future.
Yeah, someday. You don't even have to project it into the future. Right now, people are trying to say that Donald Trump didn't call for a riot to overthrow the outcome of the 2020 election. People are making that argument that those people are heroes.
No. Somebody wanted me to remind you, why haven't we talked about him fundraising? He's having a gala for the January 6th rioters.
Right, to raise money for them. These people are all going to get out of prison, and they're all going to get government jobs in the Trump administration. All of these people who did Trump's bidding.
Criminals.
Okay, here's the thing. He should be ineligible for being president. He shouldn't even be allowed on the grounds of the White House because he lost an election, and unlike any other president in American history, he didn't accept the results. And he motivated his people to come to Washington, D.C. and try and intimidate lawmakers into changing the election. It's just the kind of thing that he should be prohibited from being president.
And then what we were saying is that, then they're going to have January 6th reenactments, like the Civil War reenactors.
Morning, Buzz. Hey, Buzz, you talked about the Civil War reenactments. I watched a really, really good independent documentary about those. I mean, the guy was from, I can't remember what state down there in the South where they're real hardcore about that. But the point of the documentary was that Civil War reenactments are a very, racist thing. It's a Southern pride thing, man. And even back when there were still Civil War veterans around, they didn't do them. These things didn't start till the 60s in the middle of the Civil Rights Movement. It was kind of like a pushback because the actual Civil War veterans saw and experienced the true horrors of war, man. They were killing each other, and everybody was, at the end of the day, American. So, yeah, I'll try to find it and send it y'all's way. It's a really good documentary. But, yeah, those Civil War reenactments, like you're saying everybody wants to be the Confederacy, that's because it's a very racist thing, man. Anyways, y'all have a great day, guys. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
I had seen a 2020 story or 48 hours many, many years ago about the Civil War reenactors, and they were pointing out that the one drawback is nobody wants to be a Union soldier. All these Civil War reenactors want to be Confederate soldiers. And I thought,
well, it was
it's not very often that people want to pretend to be the losers.
We did not lose, all right? It was not a civil war. It was
rigged.
A war of northern aggression.
Mm-hmm.
And it was rigged, yeah.
and it was rigged.
We've got also a bunch of great messages in our app chat. Keep them coming. Download our app, KLAQ mobile app, wherever you get your apps. Joanna, this is Rob. Joanna needs to watch this show called Kevin Can F Himself.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch it.
I watched a couple episodes of that.
Show has
really
a very unique way of telling a story. When showing the husband's point of view, everything is set as a sitcom with a laugh track.
Think King of Queens.
But when they show the wife's point of view, it turns into a drama, and both colors and camera angles change.
And it's got that Annie Murphy who played the daughter in S Creek.
Rose.
Yeah,
yes.
she played Alexis Rose.
Oh, you mean My
She's
Dream
the
Girl?
lead in it.
That's My Dream Girl.
It is an interesting concept because it's, the buffoonish husband in a comedy, but he's also it's a toxic relationship.
Oh, snap.
I think maybe it was leading to she was going to kill him.
Ooh, it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. Oh, yeah. That's the one thing I forgot to say. By the way, it's on Netflix.
It was an interesting take on that trope.
And Erica from Austin says, this was super nice. I think I should print it out. I listen to y'all.
Stick it on the wall? Frame it? All right.
We should start printing these out when they're nice.
I listen to y'all every morning, and when I don't, my day is just a bit dimmer.
Oh.
Because I'm wondering what I missed. Y'all are a part of my morning routine first thing. You make me laugh, and when you talk about complicated topics, I enjoy listening to different opinions. And I always will give Buzz so much credit because he's big on facts. It's been a tough year. My husband's health took a turn. We realized he has a condition that has destroyed his kidneys. And long story short, I'm a match, so I'll be giving him a kidney today.
Oh, my God.
This show has been a light and a beacon of joy, and I always look forward to hearing it. Please don't ever retire, Buzz. Thank you, Buzz, Joanna, and Nico. We're from El Paso, but we live in Austin. I have the app. And Buzz, get your yearly physicals.
Oh.
I finally had my doctor's
so much,
appointment
Erica.
with a new primary.
Nice, Erica.
Finally, you got a doctor
I decided going in.
Did?
I was going to do something that I've never done with
He got a finger in the butt.
No. I decided I was going to do something I've never done, and that is be 100% honest with my physician.
So when they asked you, do you drink?
I said, yeah. And they said, how much? And I said, to tell the truth, it's probably gotten to the point where it's a little too much. So I'm supposed to cut back on that.
Do you smoke?
Yes. And I said, yeah, just a couple cigars a week. They didn't ask
what.
I
Okay,
smoked.
cool. I mean, that's fine. Did they say cut down on those?
Okay, so I didn't know what a colonoscopy was.
What do you mean you didn't know what a colonoscopy? Look at Steve's face already.
Listen,
do you want us to show you?
I can still be very, very stupid, despite that nice app
Buzz is
message.
the smartest, stupidest man
So
I know.
they have you fill out, and it's like, when was your last colonoscopy? And I'm like, probably 3 years ago. And
or 2 weeks, depending on who you ask.
No, okay, so the doctor gets me in there. Is like, you don't remember exactly when? I was like, oh, no, just my doctor, my physician, my primary care physician. And it's like, no, they don't do that. And I said, wait a minute. Is a colonoscopy something other than a finger up your tailpipe? Because that's what I thought a colonoscopy was. Honestly,
was just a finger.
I was saying,
finger?
yeah, that's the last time they put it up there to check your,
No.
That's not normal.
That's not a colonoscopy.
That's a prostate check, and that's just flirting. Colonoscopy is the whole date.
You should report that.
What happened to you?
I admitted, it's like I guess I didn't know what a colonoscopy is.
Well, the fact that you don't even know what a prostate check is, and you thought that was a colonoscopy.
I thought that was the full Megillah.
When you go to a doctor, when you go to see a doctor, they ask you, we need to check your prostate. Did you think that meant a colonoscopy?
Yep. I thought that's what it was. Apparently, though, and I was worried because the finger deal is not a treat.
And it's not a treat.
It's not fun.
Nobody. Well, listen.
It's not on the menu under specials. No.
Nobody enjoys it.
It hurts to ride a bicycle the next day.
But our most popular item on this today.
Sit on a bag of peas next time.
Have you ever had a PSA blood test? That goes with the prostate check.
I don't know.
The PSA is what essentially detects if there's an abnormal. How do I know all this and you don't?
Because you are a much more responsible adult.
More responsible
man.
Good Lord.
Is that where they do the KLAQ test with the blood on the blood smear or something?
No, they take your blood. It's like, and they'll do the PSA as part of that too.
Okay.
So they'll draw blood. And
let me just say, I'm a big believer that the more you obsess over your health, the more likely your body is going to get sick. It's better just not to think about it.
That is the dumbest thing to think of in the world. That's the same thing that old men say where I don't want to go to the doctor.
They might tell me
find
what's
something.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I don't go to the doctor,
They can't tell me I have
all
something.
right.
Yeah, that's true. My dad.
But they knock you out for the colonoscopy. They put you under.
Of course they put you under.
Right. I was worried that they were going to put some kind of cattle prod up there or something.
Oh my God! Can I tell you this? Okay, listen. My colonoscopy is scheduled for September 23rd on a Monday, and
I'll try and make mine at the same weekend. We can ride over together.
That sounds like a plan. That sounds great. Then you can. Well, we can't drive back. But the point is,
we literally be butt buddies.
Here's the deal, Buzz. Here's the deal. Have you even scheduled yours yet, or no?
No, I only had the meeting with my
buddy
doctor.
sessions?
His and his.
Can we do side by side?
Yeah, right.
It's not a spa.
We
It's
want to
not a
hold
weekend.
hands while we're getting our colonoscopy.
Now, you have to understand something, Buzz. The actual colonoscopy procedure is about 10 to 15 minutes long.
But they
it's
put
not
you
long.
under, right?
They have to put you under. That's right.
Because it would hurt so bad?
No, it's just they put you under so that way.
Oh, no. That is the reason. That is definitely the reason they put you under, because it would hurt.
Yeah.
Ladies probably don't know about colon. What's the thing with the finger called?
It's a prostate
check. Oh my
Prostate
God,
exam.
dude.
They
Of
probably
course they
don't
do.
understand.
Do you know what your
that.
prostate is?
I guess it's in your butt somewhere. It's the thing
Yeah.
that if you want
Kind
to,
of.
like, if you want to stop your stream of urine, you contract your prostate. Correct?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Kegels?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Kind of,
like
yes.
Kegels.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so Joanna,
It's
I
this
don't know-
walnut-shaped organ. It's
Yeah,
right on the...
right.
Okay, what is it?
No, I'm not going to get into it.
Like, I don't know what goes on when you go see your lady doctors, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on.
Oh,
Right.
you don't even know about, like, the cervical checks and, like, the speculums that
Pap
they get out?
smear.
I've only heard stories.
Have you seen a speculum?
Not in person, maybe on TV.
The things that go... that open things up?
It looks like a
For
duck.
ladies, you mean?
Like a duck. Yeah. Looks like a duck.
No.
Did I ever tell you guys about the time I got called the F word, but the bad term for gay,
By?
by a cholo in the hospital?
Because you had to
Okay.
use a spec. Why?
Because
why?
in the hospital, when you have a penetrating trauma to your stomach, like a knife or a bullet, they will do a CT scan with contrast in your butt, in your intestines.
Uh-huh.
So the contrast needs to be put in through your butt.
Okay.
And my job was to put the thing in the butt to
You had
What
to
was
put
the
thing in the butt.
what was the cholo in the hospital for?
he got stabbed.
He got stabbed.
Yeah.
So you got called the F word by a cholo.
Well, we had to
because
hold it because he didn't want us to put it in his butt. But
And he called
you're-
you.
Wait. You don't have to get their permission for that?
he was under the influence, and so technically, and
Under
I
the
think
influence of what?
it doesn't matter. He couldn't make his
Just
own.
an influence.
He can't make legally not allowed to make his own healthcare choices.
I might fight back if I were in his position.
Well, you would be held down just like he was, and I would be lifting a cheek.
That kind of sounds like a sexual assault, right?
What the?
We had to get the
It's
CT
a
scan.
medical
You had to get the
procedure.
what?
The CT scan of it to see if he was bleeding on the inside from the stab wound.
Hey, man, you don't want somebody
Yeah, just
rooting
let
around
him
your
bleed.
butt.
Just let him bleed then.
That is your right as an
fool.
American to bleed out right there on the table, if you ask me. Steve,
He
were
died
you
at your
counting on
face.
this conversation? So here's the thing that women
Steve's
don't
so
know
happy he came in.
about prostate checks. Okay,
What?
when the doctor checks your prostate, you might have an almost an urge to defecate. Like there's something about
What?
what's going on up there that is like,
What
oh
is
no,
wrong? What is
oh my
wrong?
God, I'm going to poop right on the doctor's hand.
Are you serious?
Yes. It can't just be me. There's no way it's just
I've had
me.
my prostate
and you
checked.
weren't like, oh no, I'm gonna dump a load right here.
No. Well, first off, let me ask you this: when you went to see the doctor, did you like just have all this coffee in you, and did you already eat? Like,
Yeah.
were you
5
prepared?
cigarettes.
I mean, did you feel like you were
4.
ready? Like, you should have gone to the toilet before you went in to see the doctor, and then that was the problem because. It's just
like you're a porn star.
Yeah,
preparing.
seriously.
I think that I didn't know ahead of time. The doctor was kind of like, hey, we need to do a prostate check on you. It's time to do it. Maybe if I had known ahead
What
of time.
age do they say start?
50.
50.
Well,
Yeah.
and it wasn't a doctor. It was kind of a guy I met behind the Chinese
I was going to
buffet.
say. He had no license.
All this makes sense now.
Hey, it's Chuck, your host for Loudwire Nights. Tonight at 7, we will rock the borderland with the best rock ever made and the best rock being made. Special guests, birthday and anniversary celebrations, and every night at 10.
Use your phone in Mexico like 2 countries, 1 network. Only with AT&T. Visit att.com/one network for details.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
Collection here of public service announcements that aired during my childhood. So I want to ask you guys if there was any overlap on any of these. Like by the time you guys were kids, were they still showing like Woodsy Owl, for instance? Let me start with an easier one before we get to Woodsy.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say
Smokey Bear. I still hear him.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Right. So
Only
that had
you can prevent wildfires.
Well, there was also
wildfires.
Another character named Woodsy Owl, and he would show up like on posters in your classroom.
Woodsy.
He wanted to remind kids to remind their parents to give a hoot.
Oh.
Don't pollute.
Hi, I'm Woodsy Owl. In order to try and stop pollution, we need more help. So, help Woodsy spread the word. Come on, never be
a dirty bird.
No matter where you go, you can let some people know to give a hoot.
Don't pollute.
Never be a dirty bird. In the city or in the woods, help keep America looking good.
Give a hoot.
Yeah.
Don't pollute.
Pretty good.
Here's one.
I do not remember that one, but for us,
it's catchy.
We had a lot of. Do you remember truth ones, Joanna? Truth. It would be like about smoking or anti-smoking.
and
It'd be
like-
like, the truth.
How
Those
about
were so intense.
maybe we had a version of that was called The More You Know. Do you know what that is?
The more you know. Is it like the rest of the story?
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
The rest of the story.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They did this a lot on Family Guy.
Yeah, the Family Guy ones had a lot. Da-na-na-na, the more you know.
Oh, so you're aware of it being made fun of by the Family Guy?
No, I think I saw. I've
There
definitely
was
seen
probably
it.
some, yeah.
But what would they say? I thought it was always like fun facts.
No, it was like, don't get in cars with strangers or something.
The more you know.
Yeah. it was something that was supposed to help you.
That just reminded
In
me
your
of
life.
one that was like on the Mexican station all the time that was like, mucho. And like, don't get kidnapped.
Wait, mucho what?
Ojo.
Mucho ojo.
Mucho ojo.
Many eyes. Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Many eyes.
But it was like, be on the lookout. Don't get kidnapped.
Here's one where a guy has an egg in a frying pan, and your egg is your brain.
Is your brain on drugs?
Have you seen this one, or you just heard of it?
No, yeah, I've seen those.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
You mean it's
And
a delicious
A
egg?
delicious fried egg.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Packed with
those
protein?
ones.
Wait a minute. Are you saying drugs are packed with protein?
You mean a healthy breakfast?
Most of these were a huge eye roll, even when we were little kids.
The ones
A
we
lot of
had
those.
for like anti-drugs, it was like this chick who was like deflated on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, she's on weed.
Or they would be like, do you want to go hang out? Like they'd have the girl's friends asking, like, do you want to go do something? And she'd be like, no, I just want to do drugs.
Here's a weird one that's kind of topical. Here's one of the most beloved TV stars of the 1980s warning about this new drug that was on the scene, crack.
Crack.
Okay, you know why that's funny? They do a dramatic setup of a blackened out studio. You just see the cameras, a silhouette, and you expect something super dramatic, and then you see a dude in a bow tie.
And it's Pee Wee Herman.
And he's got a vial of some kind of substance, some kind of white substance inside the vial.
This is crack, rock cocaine. It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you.
Before I play the rest of this, I got a question. Can you do a search for me? When Pee Wee was arrested in a porno theater,
did he have any crack cocaine?
No, I think he had some there was some kind of. I seem to recall he also had some kind of illicit substance on him. Joanna will get on that and find out.
On it.
I can't believe they would run him in just for being in a dirty movie theater.
What's the word of the day? Crack!
What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying. It isn't worth it. Look, everybody wants to be cool. But doing it with crack isn't just wrong. It could be dead wrong.
Dead wrong.
Did you find anything?
No drugs on him, just exposing himself.
God.
But this is like the cops were like already in the theater and they were like watching.
They were
just waiting for him to pull it out.
Or some guy.
I think they were probably there.
Rubens was observed exposing himself, and a detective arrested him in the lobby.
So a detective is going to go to a jerk-off theater and just sit there waiting for somebody to jerk off.
I mean, it was the 80s. What did you expect him to do? Go out there and arrest a bunch of coke smugglers? Right? Doesn't it seem like the Sarasota PD would have been better off in the 80s, maybe trying to stop all the narcotics that were coming in?
It sounds like entrapment almost.
I think it was probably an easy way to make arrest. It was,
Hey, we got Pee Wee.
But I don't think they were specifically after Pee Wee Herman.
No,
First of all, you wouldn't recognize him because he had long hair and didn't look like Pee Wee.
It does say here that they didn't know who he was until they took him into the station.
Hey, what nickname do you think Pee Wee had for his junk?
Little Pee Wee.
Ask in this room were about spelling and geography. Today, the questions are...
That's Marla Gibbs.
Oh, I thought that was Oprah.
That's Marla Gibbs from the Jeffersons.
A lot tougher. Jimmy, where did you get those bruises? Johnny, are you high on something? Mary, are you pregnant? There's a lot more to teaching today than the 3 R's. And the more you know how complex and difficult teaching has become, the more you know that teachers deserve all the respect and support we can give them.
Damn, she didn't even know about like non-binary, and that's a wait till that starts.
That one was one of the NBC The More You Know commercials.
Teaching is a lot more than the 3 R's.
We've got one here where, honest to God, C-3PO catches R2-D2 smoking cigarettes and reads him the riot act.
Oh, my God. That's not good.
R2, where are you? R2? R2, you're on fire! R2-D2, you found a cigarette. Well, I don't think smoking is grown up at all. Because it's very dangerous. Smoking does dreadful things to your lungs and is very bad for your heart. Well, I know I don't have one, but humans do, and I think we should set a good example. Well done, R2. You know smoking is bad for your health, and it isn't grown up at all. So please, don't smoke.
Nico, it isn't grown up at all.
Shut up, C-3PO. R2-D2 was just on his smoke break, and you interrupted him.
Right.
I'm sorry for that time also, Nico. My bad.
What's it going to hurt R2-D2?
Also,
what is R2-D2 getting out of it? Smoking.
How is he smoking? Does he have a mouth?
One of the little holes in him.
I thought I would open the phone lines. Do you remember a specific public service announcement that really stuck out to you? And that's not even getting into the after-school specials, which were always had some kind of message. There was an after-school special, they, don't sniff glue or whatever. That's another thing about these.
I have one from the 2000s that I loved.
I guess sniffing airplane model glue was a thing that grown-ups were really concerned about in the 70s.
What do you mean, was?
In fourth grade, they showed us a film about sniffing airplane glue. And I remember everybody looking around. Nobody had thought of sniffing airplane glue until they saw that movie that they showed us at school.
Did you guys have Dare back in your day?
We did. By the time I was in high school, we had Dare.
I had Dare, and then they would tell us, like, all the places you could find drugs. Well, none of us knew this until you told us.
You mean you can?
In the parking lot?
Do you think sometimes these PSAs, some of them, might have done more harm than good?
Oh, definitely.
Probably.
Well, I think it might have given a distorted version of things to some kids. I mean, when you are as black and white about a subject where this is your brain on drugs, and then smashing an egg is being drugs bad, brain good. I mean, that's a very... What?
Well, I know that...
It's very black and white.
They were constantly telling us to be on the lookout that somebody might give us stickers, that in the back of the stickers was like LSD was on it. This was like legitimately
if it
during
looks like a stamp, don't lick it.
Yeah.
Oh, free drugs.
Oh, yeah. They also lied about that. Like, drugs aren't free.
Here's one of the things.
First
Like, they really maligned. Well, they didn't draw any distinction between marijuana and heroin or cocaine, let's say. So marijuana was so bad. Is like, if you do marijuana, you're going to end up doing crack and you'll probably be dead by the time you're 30, right?
Right.
Well, once you get out into the world after college, I met some people that smoked marijuana recreationally, even back before it was legal anywhere, and they seemed to be functional. You know, they had houses and jobs and families. And
oh, you mean it wasn't reefer madness?
It wasn't reefer madness, but that kind of made me doubt, well, what else were they BSing about?
Hey, I have a PSA from the 2000s that Joanna and I might know instead.
You want to play that one for me?
Yeah.
Let me give out the telephone number. Do you remember any PSAs? And do you think some of these PSAs actually were counterproductive? Here's the number to the studio. It's 915-910-4995, 910-4995 to talk to the morning show. And then I got a great one from He-Man and She-Ra here.
All right.
What is yours?
From the 2000s. Oh, I guess it's going to be all non-audio. It's just a guy hanging out with his little brother. They're like playing basketball and they're eating hot dogs. Cool. And then the older brother gets a cigarette, maybe a joint. I think it might be a joint. Okay. And then he starts smoking it. And then his little brother is watching.
And his little brother's like, I look up to this guy, so you're making your little brother smoke weed too.
Yeah.
Was it weed or just a cigarette?
Yeah, weed. It looked like, or maybe either one. I don't think
there was a huge distinction between that either. Like smoking cigarettes was pretty much as bad as doing drugs. Like everything.
According to the PSAs.
According to the PSAs. This is a surreal spot where they have two cartoon characters, three actually, if you count Orko.
And I do count Orko.
You've got He-Man and She-Ra describing.
How am I more of a He-Man fan than you?
I had kind of already aged out of it. I think I was probably already in 8th, 9th grade. I was a little too old for He-Man when it came out, just a little bit. But it's kind of like not all adults are your friends, and you have to watch out for bad touching from He-Man and She-Ra and Orko. No Ram Man, I noticed, though.
She-Ra and I want to talk to you about something that's very personal, your body.
Remember, it's your body and no one should touch you in a way that you feel is wrong.
Get anybody who tries it.
It's not that easy, Orko. It's hard for a young person to admit that he or she has been touched in a bad way.
If you've been touched that way, don't be ashamed. Tell someone you trust. Like
this is a fine message, but isn't it just bizarre that it's like this oiled down muscle dude showing off his nipples and his abs?
Like your parents,
but
your
you
doctor.
can't touch it until he gives you consent.
Or your minister or rabbi.
Bad touch.
Wait.
The minister
or rabbi.
I didn't know He-Man ever said to go see your rabbi.
Or counselor. Or your minister or rabbi.
Wait, go back. because he was saying something about doctors, and I'm wondering if they were saying it's only okay if these people touch you.
Oh, that would be interesting. Because I think that U.S. gymnast doctor would be a cautionary tale.
Bad way.
If you've been touched that way, don't be ashamed. Tell someone you trust, like your parents, your doctor, your teacher, or counselor, or your minister or rabbi.
Right, Orko? Right on!
Right on.
The irony kind of that one, and that had to have been like 80, 86, 87, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
The irony of that is that, you know, statistically, most of the bad touching that's going on
comes from a family member?
A family member or a friend or a teacher or a minister or, you know,
that
on
is
and on
really
the list. It's like, it almost made you like, oh, you need to beware of these strange adults, but any adult you know, it's perfectly safe. I bet there were a lot of kids watching that, like, you know, I can't go to any of those people because,
right.
You know, I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because those people might be the people that...
What if that is the person that's
What if I have
abusing
nobody
you?
to talk to?
You know, what if it's the youth minister, your church, or, you know, a family member?
Do you remember...
Also, I bet a lot of people went and said, you know, my cousin or my uncle's touching me in a bad way, and they got punished by their parents for it.
Do you remember...
Their parents didn't respect He-Man and She-Ra.
Do you remember the Greg Wilson, our friend, comedian? Do you remember that PSA that he was in from the 90s?
That was an hour long. That was like a special.
That was like
an hour long special.
An after-school special?
Yeah.
What
but,
did he do?
Well, it's all about grooming and watching out for people who will groom children. And it turns out that he plays one of these teenagers that was groomed by another pervert. And then, yeah, it's very, very strange.
Got a few calls here. Let's see what we have.
I remember one is like the commercial Nico was just talking about with the kid and his little brother. This one came out in about 1968, and it was a little kid and his dad in the park. And the same thing, the kid was watching everything the dad was doing, and then the dad lit up a cigarette, and the kid, I think, grabbed the pack and was going to try to light a cigarette, and the key line was, kick the habit, join the unhooked generation. And it showed them jumping up in the air and kicking their heels sideways. And it was an anti-tobacco PSA, and yeah, brought back that memory from about 1968.
Whoa.
Well, that would have still been like the era where every adult pretty much was smoking.
Yeah.
You know?
But they knew it was bad back then. I mean, I
think anybody who wasn't deluded knew that it was probably
by
not
the
best
60s
thing.
and 70s,
sure.
yeah.
I think they did.
Did anybody in your family smoke?
I had a couple uncles.
But like your mom and dad, that wasn't like a...
No. Absolutely clean living at my house, except for all the fried food, which was plentiful.
Yeah, when I was a kid growing up in California, they showed us this anti-drug thing in the Boy Scouts, and it was Jack Webb from Dragnet, and he's busting kids, you know, for drugs, and he gives this little lecture that, let me see if I remember it, that not beer, but marijuana's the light, and heroin is the fuse, and this will lead you and it'll all explode, you know, and looking back, it was cracked me up. So, but I just wanted to get that out there, but they tried to scare us. So, later, bye.
Jack Webb was the guy in a TV show called Dragnet, and he was like, heroin is the fuse. And then he says, marijuana is the bomb.
What? Or is it light? Because, like, it's about gateway. Is it about gateway drugs?
I'll tell you what. We got 4 or 5 minutes here. I'll look it up for you.
We don't have 4 or 5 minutes here.
No. 4 or 5 minutes when we come back.
Oh, yeah.
So, what are your PSA memories? Were you skeptical? Did you buy them 100%? Do you think they need to bring more of them back, or maybe they do have them for all I know?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a telephone number to the studio, 915-910-4995, 910-4995. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show on the way right after this.
Hey, it's Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Heart of downtown El Paso now.
God is great.
More info available at epwayoutwest.com. Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
You are really something else, I gotta tell you.
What?
What did you do?
Well, we're gonna get back into the news.
I don't know. Buzz was very shocked by something I told him.
What did you tell him?
Can I share with Joanna? Nobody else. I'm just gonna tell Joanna.
Okay,
tell
that's
me.
fine.
Everybody else, don't pay
Don't
attention.
pay attention.
Keep it
So,
secret.
Nico told me a couple of weeks ago that he doesn't have his ID. What happened to your ID?
I lost it.
Okay.
And my debit card.
Oh, crap.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I need to replace those two. But I keep hoping they just show up, and so I haven't replaced them.
So I suggested that we go someplace that you need your driver's license to get into, and I'm not going to say any more than that, all right?
Okay.
And he's like, I still don't have my driver's license, but I know that you went to...
Strip club, by the way.
It's not a strip club. And he said he had used his passport, because that's a form of photo ID.
Okay, yeah.
Nico's mom keeps his passport. Like he
Because
borrowed
he was
it
like,
from
why
his-
don't you just get your passport again? Just use your passport
Just
again. I was
use
like,
your
I don't
passport
have it
again.
anymore. I gave it back to my mom because she holds on to
You're a
it.
30-something-year-old man, and your mom, you should have your passport. What do you mean your mom has your passport?
What?
Look, up until a few, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, my mom had mine. So, but I can now say I hold on to it, and I hope I remember where I put it.
Okay, that's where I used to live with my parents, and
It's for safekeeping.
yeah, it's for I'm irresponsible.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Or my mom has really pushed it into my brain that I'm gonna lose it.
Yep.
So I was like, "Here, Mom, you hang on to it then."
It's like a safety deposit box, but I just call it Mom's house. I don't need a bank.
You're supposed to be a grown-up by now, man.
I am a grown-up. I live.
You don't
by
have a
myself.
photo ID. The photo ID you do have, you leave in your mom's care.
Right.
Wait, are you guys going to the strip club
No. Here.
without me?
I'll tell you what we're talking about, okay?
Okay.
It rhymes with mispensary. Blanibus mispensary. And he's like, oh, I can't go in because I don't have my ID.
Oh, you do need your ID or a passport. A passport works.
Yeah, well, he had the passport. Then when he was done using it, he returned it to his mom for her to keep. And I'm just saying that is the most infantile thing I've ever heard of.
It's like a safe spot. Like my parents. I don't know. I don't think it's that weird.
I don't think it's weird.
Thank you, Joanna.
But they were the
You know,
same.
there are
You know,
plenty of people
most
your
people
age
are
that
living
have-
with their parents till they're like 40. That is the new
That's
trend.
not true.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people your age that have little humans of their own that they have to be
That
responsible
sounds
for.
insane, right?
Right. That sounds crazy. I barely got a puppy.
Somebody's on the line, tells you how you can get a new ID.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Cody.
Hello.
What's up, Cody?
Yeah, I just wanted to let Nico know that you have to go online to make your driver's license appointment for renewal or that.
Oh, cool. It can be online now?
Yeah, you have to do it online because they're not taking anyone in person dropping in.
Oh.
You actually have to do a reservation.
Okay, that's good to know.
And it takes about 30 minutes to an hour to get done, and you're done, in and out, and everything's filled out, and you're good to go.
And what do they do? Mail your new license to you?
Yeah, well, he'll get a paper one for the time being as proof that he has a license,
There you go,
and then
dude.
they'll mail out a new one, and he'll get it in the mail.
I bet you can't use that paper one to go into a dispensary.
He should, because it's considered a legal document.
Yeah, but is it a photo ID?
Yes, it actually has a little picture in black and white in it.
Do they use the old picture that I've taken, or will they?
No, they're going to actually have you take a new picture right then and there, unless you did yours within a certain amount, that they can even mail you a new one without even having to do going in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds kind of painless because, I was thinking about just having to wait in line at the DMV all day, and that was kind of making me procrastinate a little bit more.
You're procrastinating about having a driver's license.
Also, I hope it shows up in one of my jeans or something.
Oh, so you don't know for sure that it's lost forever?
I don't, yeah.
The debit card as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Time to grow up.
It might show up. I don't know.
Right. Thank you, Cody.
It's time to be adulting.
Yeah, I didn't say show up. I said time to grow up.
I'm saying it might show up.
Time to be adulting.
Yeah, time to be adulting. Cody and I are saying the same
Cody.
thing.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rose with Miss Spencer.
Manimus Mispensary. I don't know if they'd accept your temporary driver's license or not.
You could just I'm pretty sure print one of those
As
up.
someone who has lost her ID many times. Yeah, it comes with a little picture when they print it out for you.
Why have you lost your ID many times?
I don't want to talk about it. You know what? We're talking about your life.
A massive wildfire currently burning east of Santa Fe is now the largest in the state's history, as thousands of firefighters continue to battle the blaze. The Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire, made up of two fires that merged into one giant blaze last month, has burned 300,000 acres. It officially surpassed the Whitewater Baldy fire as the largest fire in New Mexico's history. That fire, which was caused by lightning and also consisted of two separate fires, managed to burn 297,000 acres, primarily around the Gila National Forest. And this was around late 2012. The Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire is now the largest active fire in the U.S., and it's only been 26% contained as of Tuesday. There's more than 2,000 fire personnel responding on the scene. The Hermit's Peak fire was caused by spot fires from a prescribed burn, while the cause of the Calf Canyon fire is under investigation. Firefighters have faced unfavorable wind conditions, warming temperatures, and severe dry conditions since the Hermit's Peak and Calf Canyon fires ignited in early April.
Speaking of igniting in New Mexico, we can't do that until you get your driver's license replaced. You know what I can say? You and I have a different definition of procrastinating. You don't have a driver's license and you keep putting it off.
Because he's hoping maybe it'll show up somewhere.
Like shake out of my...
Wait, what are you doing without a debit card then?
Oh, I have Google Pay on my phone.
Sweet.
Right.
Yeah, but you've been telling me now for a couple of weeks that you haven't had your ID.
Oh, weeks?
Yeah.
I thought this just happened maybe a few days
Oh,
ago.
no, this has been probably 4, 6, maybe 6 weeks.
And you're still waiting for it just to turn up.
I don't think it's going to show up
Yeah.
anymore, dude.
But you know what's going to happen? I'm going to replace it, and then the second I do, it's going to be in my car, on the side somewhere.
Have you checked the side?
You're saying... There's a universal law that as soon as you go through the whole process, it's
For
going to
me,
turn.
I have the worst luck in the world. That's exactly what would happen.
Now, it sounds like you're just rationalizing your procrastination.
Maybe that too.
Here's what right now I feel like I'm in procrastination mode because I've got to go get my car, the state inspection, and then get the tags. You know when they're due?
When?
Yeah.
Into June. And I feel like I'm probably just oh man, I keep putting this off. I got to get around to it.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah.
Be an adult.
Trying to make
Why don't you try and be more responsible and do things?
Buzz, be an example.
Yeah.
I'm making a point about how I still got a month and a half, but I feel like I'm procrastinating.
I feel like you're supposed to take
you've gone a month and
the
a half
mentor role.
Yeah, I'm mentoring you right now.
You're more berating than mentoring.
I think there's a lot of overlap when it comes to that. If you feel like I'm berating, maybe that will motivate you to start taking some of this responsibility.
If it makes you feel any better, someone in the app chat says that you can use the paper ones at the dispensary. They've used it there for a week.
They've actually used it at the dispensary.
At the dispensary.
In New Mexico.
In New Mexico.
All right. Do you want to take a break so we can talk about this UFO stuff now?
Yeah, sure.
God.
Miss Spencer took up a lot of time.
What do you think your mom's thinking about this conversation?
Oh, she's cringing right now.
Cringing.
Yeah, my mom is.
But she doesn't disagree with what I'm saying, right?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
But she's probably like, Nicholas, why don't you do
Do
things?
you have any idea of where you could have lost it?
Oh, it could be.
Did you cancel the debit card?
No.
Maybe if you left the debit card and the ID, I wouldn't be so much worried if I lost them separately. But if you lost them together, there's a good chance somebody might know how to do identity theft on there.
Nobody would want to steal my identity.
Trust me, they would give it back.
Yeah, they would be like, now I owe more? How do I owe money?
I stole Nico Ajibian's identity and I ended up losing money.
I'm pretty much safe.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job.
Prescribe biologic and visit skyrizzy.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Good morning and welcome to Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Are we just going to pretend like nothing happened?
Yeah, we should just go about as our day.
Yeah,
6 o'clock.
I hope you enjoyed that first hour of the show. We
we should start doing that for the first hour of the show.
Just do the replays in the 6 o'clock hour, and we don't come until 7.
Yeah. How great is that?
How much did you talk about what was going on?
You know, I thought I was gonna, and I just didn't. I figured, let's break the news as a group.
All right, so when I got here, good morning, everybody. It's 7 o'clock. The Cowboys destroyed the Browns yesterday, the first Sunday of NFL football.
Destroyed.
Yes, and I know Cowboy fans are very happy. Cappy will be by later to talk about all the NFL and NCAA action. The Miners in front of a crowd of 41,000 fans at the Sun Bowl lost to Southern Utah.
Yikes.
In overtime, though.
There's a lot of tailgaters, though. There were a lot of tailgaters.
How do you know that?
Because I had people asking me to go. Like, I know
you to tailgate.
Yeah, I know.
Buzz, did you go?
No.
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 Why was there a tailgate for the station?
No, but I remember Buzz saying someone.
Oh yeah,
invited
you were going to
him.
go with Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. Here, it comes around. It's Saturday. It's a couple hours before the game. I noticed Matt hasn't texted me about a meetup or anything.
This is your other best friend.
Oh, no.
Nico.
Matt is my only best friend.
That's his only best friend. He's only got the one.
I would actually ask Matt to do something for me and could count on him doing
shut
it.
up.
The first time I asked.
How many times have... So I haven't done anything for you? Oh, wait. You know what?
Remember
We're
that
not gonna
time
get
you
into this.
left him at the game?
Yeah, because
the time you left
he
me at the
told
game.
me he had a ride. He's
I ended up walking from the
He's
Sun
like,
Bowl.
I have a ride. I'm like, okay.
walked from the Sun Bowl to the radio station, which is on executive.
I go, what's your ride plan? Well, I'm going to ask Lisa. All right.
No.
You're on your own?
No, Lisa was a hard no. So anyway, I get to the station this morning and I noticed my key to the room, to the studio, was not on the key ring. We use old-fashioned metal keys.
Yes.
And it had been a problem. Like I was noticing, it was sliding
It
off.
was lighter. For some, my keys felt lighter.
But it had happened a couple of times where my key had slid off my key ring. Well, that must have happened again because I didn't have a key to get in my studio. I could get in the building, not in the studio. So Joanna gets here and I'm like, thank God. Can you unlock the room for me? And Joanna said...
Oh. I said I don't have the key because I lent it to Rebecca because she decorated in that studio. She hasn't given me the key back. I forgot about it.
I'm so glad nobody asked me for mine.
And then I'm like, does Nico have a key?
I totally do have a key.
You have a key?
Do?
Or
we could have started the show 15 minutes late instead of an hour late.
No, we couldn't have.
Joanna.
Should I say...
Joanna may be the only person that gets that, but jeez.
Oh, no, shut up. Anyways, everybody was like, they all got there late.
We all came with Nico.
Yeah, like Nico gave him all a ride or something.
I went back to get my other set of keys, and I had to look for those, and it took, like 30 minutes to get back to the station. So I called Nico, and he's like, I already left already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Joanna and I were trying to take bets. We were like, what are the chances that Buzz
I'm all like,
finds
if
his
he buys
keys?
the key, he finds the key, he'll come back. But if he doesn't, I don't think. And I just assume, like, he's not even going to bother coming back.
What would I even do in that studio? If I were in your studio, what
You
would
couldn't
I
do
even
anything.
You couldn't do anything, yeah.
You couldn't do
Everything is in there.
You couldn't be the best Buzz you could possibly be.
You'd have to do a lot of improvising.
How was your weekend, everybody?
I was going to say, I have been issued a key. I'm just glad that nobody has asked about this because I haven't had it since the first week of work.
Have you ever needed to use it? Ever? And I'm asking this for a specific reason.
I lost it the first week of...
He lost, yeah, because every time you're like, can you open the studio for me? And I have to go open it for you. I always thought you just didn't have a key.
I'm too embarrassed. I'm just too embarrassed.
I have to ask Mike today, like, can we all just get backup keys?
Hopefully
we got to start storing backup keys around this station.
Yeah, like a hide-a-key, like a little, like a rock.
A little. There's just going to be a rock in front of Buzz's studio.
What is this rock doing here?
It's our hide-a-key.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Monday show. Cowboys over the Browns yesterday, and I don't want to be a wet blanket or anything, and Steve will be in later to talk about it. The Cowboys look good, but how bad did the Browns look? Deshaun Watson looked like he does not. I don't think he'll be playing as a starter for many more games after that.
I like how you looked at Joanna like she knew who or what you were talking about.
I'm not even tuning him out at this point.
He says the name Deshaun Jackson. And
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. And then looks at Joanna.
Yeah,
like, right? And she's like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
You know what? Steve will be along a little later. I would be optimistic.
I mean, the game was on at my house, but
your nephews like it.
My nephews, my mom, and my sister are big football fans. So it was on, but I was reading a book. So
Cowboy fans should be optimistic, but I say
I told them that. I'm
remain
like, you know, they're going to win it.
Stay in there, guys.
I don't know, they're going to win these first few games, and then by Thanksgiving, it's all going to go downhill. Then everyone got mad at me and sent me to my room.
Wow, you just popped in long enough to take a crack at the about the Cowboys not doing well in the playoffs.
Okay.
That's called a drive-by shooting. Wait, I'm curious. What book were you reading?
Stupid book.
No, tell me right now.
Why?
Because there's this new book series out that's basically fairy smut.
Oh, yeah. I can't get into that.
The Court of Thorn and Roses.
I got into an even stupider book.
Okay, that's what I thought you were you were reading. Buzz, you're going to hear about this soon.
Tell us what it is.
With the one I'm reading?
Yeah.
A Haunting Adeline. It's terrible, but smutty.
Is it smutty?
So, yeah, I'm not going to stop reading it now.
Haunting Adeline.
It is so awful.
The Court of Rose and Thorns or whatever keeps showing up in all of the clips I watch for certain things.
You know who's read it and who I just get like the Cliff's Notes version?
Lisa.
Lisa.
Of course, yeah.
Court of Thorns and Roses?
There's a lot of fairy sex in that one.
But parents have been buying it for their kids because they think it's like a
Harry Potter.
Yeah. But apparently it's just like super sex.
But I could not get into the fairy thing, you know?
I could see that.
I just couldn't get into it.
You are queen of the gays, though.
There was a Showtime show. It could be some other network, but I think it might
Carnival
be
Row.
Yeah, with Orlando Bloom.
Yeah,
that was all about a world where fairies and satyrs and
just live together.
Yeah,
in Victorian England.
Living together.
Cats and dogs.
No, but get this.
What?
But there's no racism except against some of the
there's
magical
fairyism,
creatures.
yeah.
Like there's no racism against
people.
Black
They're
people.
like, look at Tinkerbell with her little pom-pom.
Right.
What was it called?
Carnival Row. I believe
You
it
didn't
was.
stick with it, did you?
No.
Me neither. Most of the first season, though.
Most of the first
How many
season.
seasons are there?
I don't know.
It got canceled after 2.
Canceled after 2. I assumed it would be canceled after 1.
A growing population of mythological immigrant creatures
They're all
struggles to
immigrants, too.
coexist with humans.
Yeah. I feel like there's some social
I
commentary
think
about
there's
that.
a little social commentary going on there. Tomorrow is the debate between Trump and Kamala Harris.
And that other lady.
And over the weekend, Trump was talking about the January 6th prisoners, the violent insurrectionists being hostages, and he was going to set them all free, and that he was going to throw in jail anybody who doesn't go along with him on Election Day. Well, he was basically threatening prison time if he doesn't get his way. He didn't say, the courts are going to throw you in jail. He didn't say the police are going to throw you in jail. He was telling the crowd in Michigan, I'm going to throw them in jail. So tomorrow's the debate.
Is that concerning to people? Because I played a word salad of him on Friday, and it seemed like nobody kind of cared.
That's how he talks.
Right, but why not apply that?
Okay.
So if you don't care about the word salad kind of stuff he talks about, then why care about the threats he makes?
Well, I think the fans of Donald Trump go that step further and say, oh, he's not really going to do, like he didn't throw Hillary in prison after the election, but I think most people realize he talks in, a word salad. But I think he does mean the stuff that he wants to do, like disbanding NATO and all that stuff. This is, we're very, very fortunate to live in the time that we do, because we all of us, have a chance to act and make an impact on the world and where the future of the world is going to be. And not every generation can say that. I mean, this is a historic generation, and this is the most historic vote in the history of the country. And I've figured out why Cucker and Smooth Brain and all these people that call in and, they're so mad at me. The reason they're mad at me is because I'm the one telling them the truth on all this. And they don't like hearing that. So the debate's going to be tomorrow. Trump is talking crazy over the weekend. Let's see what else is happening. Tyreek Hill got put in handcuffs by cops just hours before playing against the Jaguars. He got pulled over by the cops on the way to stadium. I think I heard the statistic. He's the first NFL player to be arrested and score a touchdown on the same day. Tyreek Hill's a receiver. He helped the Miami Dolphins in a comeback win against the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday. A few hours before kickoff, he was on the ground in handcuffs just a block away from the stadium. Details are still a little sketchy, but the cop got put on administrative leave.
Huh.
And we'll have some audio clips here and get into that story a little bit more. Tyreek Hill is talking about, hey, yeah, it was scary, but, I'm famous and I'm rich. I worry about somebody who's not rich and famous who gets in the same situation. It sounds like Tyreek Hill's going to get an apology from the police department. But we will talk about that story coming up in sound clips here in just a few minutes.
In a couple of our app chat messages, thanks for messaging us. You can do that on the KLAQ mobile app. Just download it and then go to the comment section, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Chat section. Thank you, Joanna. Naomi says, thank you. Haunting Adeline is terrible. So is A Court of Thorns and Roses, but it's not as smutty as Haunting. You're just reading porn.
You're just reading, I don't even know if it's softcore porn.
Yeah.
It's smut.
Really?
Like, you go away
I'm already like 200 pages in. I might as well suck it up for the next 200.
You're giving your nephews a hard time about football.
Yeah.
Mar5150 says Nico needs to get an ID ASAP. How does he plan on voting?
You don't have an ID?
I do.
Okay, well, I was doing replays. So one of them was when Nico lost his ID.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense now. Because I got another text message about this. I have an ID, guys. That is a very old clip.
People were wondering, has Nico found his ID?
Yes, I have found my ID. I just went to the DMV to get a new one. So. I ended up getting a new one.
This was from like 2 years ago.
This was like a year ago.
All right. By the way, the Cowboy game yesterday with the Cleveland Browns was Tom Brady's first game as an announcer.
Yeah, I heard or saw the headlines that people
I did see that.
thought he sounded nervous, not a good broadcaster.
Well, it's his first game.
He looked so excited though, like, hi.
Yeah.
He's kind of dressed in like a super Armani suit and like he looked very GQ for his first time out.
He's getting mixed reviews. Let's just put it that way. But it was his first
People really
outing.
like Tony Romo for some reason. Like he just got in the booth and was, off to the races.
I wonder if they. Oh, and let me tell you, the other announcers, Kevin Hart. What the hell's
Kevin Hart?
No, Kevin. Anyway, his the play-by-play guy and Aaron Andrews, the sideline reporter, were basically his the entire game.
They were what?
They were
brown nosing.
They were brown nosing it up.
That's an easier way to say that to
The
Joanna.
bleeps confused me a little.
I think it was like everybody do what you can to make Tom feel comfortable, but he was shaky.
Maybe the better you are as a real player, the worse comment.
You are.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not nearly as bad as OJ was when OJ was in the booth.
I didn't even know he was a commentator.
My dad couldn't stand Joe Namath as a broadcaster.
Give me a kiss. Just give me a kiss.
Joe.
We're going to get to, I guess, Today in Sound Clips. We're just going to pretend that we didn't miss that entire first hour. But we'll have Today in Sound Clips coming up, more of the Buzz Adams Morning Show on the way right after this.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus.
Of deals all on a first-come, first-sold basis. Warehouse clearance event now at National Furniture Liquidators.
Nobody beats Shorty.
Local and loco.
Don't you know I'm loco?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, we're going to have Today in Sound Clips coming up in just a moment. Here's a neckline call. Remember, you can call us anytime, leave a message. Overnight, over the weekend, doesn't matter. You can call us on Christmas Day and leave a message. As long as you do it on the neckline, we'll get it. That number is 915-910-4995, 915-910-4995. Your calls are also welcome on the studio line. We'd love to go live on the air with you. And if you do call in live, you cut the line. You go in first. Did I give out the wrong number? I think I did. I just gave out the studio line. You know, it's been a shaky morning, right? The neckline number, just to be on the safe side, the neckline number is 844-805-NECK. 844-805-6325. The studio line is 915-910-4995. And we got a call off the neckline.
Good morning, amigos, amiga. Ray. Okay, so I guess we're going to protect Tom Brady as an announcer the way they used to protect him in the field. I don't know. Yeah, he sounded pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he shakes up those nerves. Kind of reminded me of Aaron Rodgers when he was doing
Jeopardy. Yeah.
Jeopardy?
Yeah, you're right.
Jeopardy.
No, that's right.
He really wanted that spot, but when you don't have it, you don't have it. All right.
True.
It was his first day. I wonder if they made him do as many practice broadcasts as they did Tony Romo. Before Tony Romo went live on the air as an announcer, they had him out in a trailer outside the stadium practicing being an NFL announcer. If you didn't hear Tom Brady, you know, he didn't crap the bed completely, but he did sound nervous. His voice sounded nervous. He stumbled over his words a lot, but again, it was his first broadcast, and it seemed like the other announcers were definitely, you know, almost hero worshiping Tom Brady. Well, if you're in the football world and you're going to hero worship anybody, you could do a lot worse than Tom Brady, I guess. We've got sound clips standing by here in just a few minutes, but since we're talking a little bit about football, I have an announcement to make. I'm going to go see an NFL game this weekend.
You are?
Yeah.
Where?
Houston.
You're going to Houston?
Yep. Yeah. Texans versus the Chicago Bears.
Oh, cool.
Because
you going with Brad?
Yeah, our boss is a big Bears fan and wants somebody to go to the game with him.
I need a partner. Come on.
You know, guys.
I wonder where.
Let's go see some football.
Where the Houston Texans fall on this just released list of the most expensive beer and a hot dog combos in the NFL. This is according to a website called sportscasting.com. NFL fans will have to pay on average $15.02 for a beer and a hot dog at football stadiums.
Okay, now that's the average.
A beer and a hot dog.
For a beer and a hot dog. But there's going to be a difference based on the stadium, I assume. So what if Joanne and I try and guess, and you tell us if we're right?
Which stadiums have the most expensive beer and a hot dog? Why? You guys don't know anything even about football.
You don't need to. You just need to
I know about hot dogs and beer.
All right, who has the most expensive hot dog and beer? Just one hot dog and one beer.
Most expensive
I imagine any teams from Los Angeles or New York. So it's got to be
just
either.
the most expensive states.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. Or maybe in Vegas.
Or Vegas. So the Las Vegas Raiders.
That sounds weird to me still, but yeah, that's correct.
Oh, good.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
or the New York Jets or Giants?
Nope. Seattle.
What?
Seattle. So
Seattle. What are they? Hold on.
Seahawks.
For a brew and a dog. At
20
Seattle,
bucks.
1998. So yeah, essentially 20.
One beer and one hot dog.
So that's either a $10 hot dog and $10 beer, or like a $2 hot dog and an $18 beer.
Is it like a foot long, or is it just like a little dog?
Maybe
What
the
kind of
beers.
wiener are we looking at?
You know, I think they vary from stadium to stadium. You were right about L.A., though. In second place, the L.A. Rams and the L.A. Chargers both charge $19.49 for one beer and one hot dog.
Stadium.
Then you got Chicago Bears, New Orleans Saints, Jacksonville Jaguars are all about $19 for one hot dog and one
I'm
beer.
going to look up this hot dog.
New Orleans has the most expensive beers at $12 for a beer, while the priciest hot dogs are Seattle and Los Angeles.
Oh, they have a value menu?
Yeah, you know, the famous Seattle-style hot dog.
A hot dog.
Look at this. The stadiums where a beer and a hot dog cost the least are Atlanta Falcons, you get a beer and a hot dog for $7.49.
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins, $9.98. Still pretty reasonable.
That's good, yes.
And the Houston Texans, along with the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions, are just a little under $12 for one hot dog and one beer.
No, they have a value menu at where the Seattle Seahawks play.
Really?
What, like a McDonald's menu?
$5 hot dog.
Oh,
$5.
And $3 popcorn at select locations at the field.
All right, if you guys are ready, let's do a few sound clips.
And now, today in sound clips.
All of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and actualities. It's time for Today in Sound Clips. And we're going to start with a shooting, not the one in Atlanta. This is another one. Authorities are searching for a shooter who wounded 7 people on a Kentucky interstate. In a press conference update yesterday, Deputy Gilbert Asiardo with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office says they are going to keep searching, but they haven't found any luck for the guy who was shooting at people on the interstate in Kentucky.
We're still searching, and we're going to continue to search until it gets dark, until it becomes dangerous for us to be in the woods. We've not had any luck so far. No trace so far.
Yesterday came to an end.
Was that a road rage thing?
I'm gonna give you some of the details right now.
Okay.
No results. They did not find the man they were looking for, or anybody else for that matter. For this suspect alleged to have fired multiple rounds at passing vehicles on I-75 in Kentucky. The shooting happened around 5:30 p.m. Kentucky time on Saturday, with at least 9 vehicles hit by gunfire. The sheriff's office is looking for 32-year-old Joseph A. Couch, who police say was off exit 49 on the interstate and not in a vehicle when he opened fire. Authorities don't believe anyone was targeted by the shooter, who say they chose the location. Here's the spokesman again, says that it was a dangerous environment to be searching for a shooting suspect who had just shot and injured 5 people.
As this continues, it becomes more stressful for the community. It becomes more stressful for the officers that are there, because we're looking, and we're trying to find him, and we haven't found him, and it's just stressful for everybody.
They found the weapon that he used to shoot at the vehicles, but I guess that doesn't rule out that he could have had a second weapon or a second and third on him. So, you can imagine. Here is Asiardo saying the shooter's weapon was recovered in the area he had to walk to.
He's had to walk on over toward the interstate, which is where we recovered the weapon at.
All right. And wildfires raging east of Los Angeles is spreading rapidly, threatening over 30,000 homes. CAL FIRE Battalion Chief Brent Pascua said that there's one thing making the current fire in the San Bernardino area one of the most dangerous fires of the year in California.
So as far as fires this summer, this one ranks up there because of the unpredictability. It might not be the biggest in acreage, but we have people in front of it, and it's very unpredictable, making it that, that much more dangerous.
And Lieutenant Kerry Klaus with the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department said there's no way to predict where the line fire, that's the biggest one, the line fire is going next.
We can't control the wind and we can't control the weather, so we have no idea where it's going to go. The downdrafts and the way that the fire is, there's no telling on which direction it's going to go and when or if it's going to affect a community.
All right, now here is an interesting semi-related story. They've found the culprit for at least 3 wildfires in Colorado this summer alone have been caused by flaming bird carcasses, okay? It happens when a bird flies into, it's not funny. A bird flies into a power line.
Yeah, I have angry birds. I see what happens.
And they're electrocuted. Here is biologist Taylor Barnes. And remember, this is responsible for at least 3 of the wildfires in Colorado. Biologist Taylor Burns talks about the flaming birds.
Most often when a bird is electrocuted, it doesn't catch fire, and then we don't hear about it. Sometimes they burst into flames, sometimes they just fall dead. Sometimes what can happen is insects can get inside that cap. Well, that attracts birds. Birds like to eat insects, in particular woodpeckers and crows. Something like that could have sat on that jumper wire and pecked into that arrestor cap, trying to get at the insects, making contact with the energized components, and then causing it to catch fire.
All right.
Oh, my God. How foul.
Hey.
Police suspect foul play. A guy in Arizona claims that he sneezed in the shower and out came a piece of a Lego that he estimates has to be at least 25 years old out of his nose. Do kids just love putting Lego pieces up their nose? Mm-hmm. You say that like you've done it before.
I imagine lots of kids have done it before.
So are you admitting that you stuck a Lego piece up your nose? Did it require medical attention?
I'm not denying it.
Did it require medical attention?
I'm not admitting it either.
You can neither confirm nor deny. Did it involve a visit to an emergency room?
No comment.
Really?
All right.
Because my friend Jack Dove's little brother Lee stuck an uncooked bean so far up his nose that he couldn't get it out, and they were going to take him to the hospital. And then his dad turned him upside down and blew into his mouth like the breath of life maneuver, and the bean shot out of his nose.
Nice.
and me and my brother and Jack were all sitting there watching it. It was the most fascinating thing I think any of us had ever seen.
Had you had a kid yet?
No, we were kids.
Oh.
This was my friend Jack's little brother when we were all kids.
Oh.
Stuffed an uncooked bean way up his nose.
Hilarious.
So here's Andy Norton, this guy who says he lives in Phoenix. He says he blew his nose in the shower and a Lego that's at least a quarter century old flew out of there.
I was blowing my nose in the shower, and lo and behold, I blew out a Lego dot that has been in my nose for at least 26 years.
It sounds like there's still something in there.
Sounds a little stuffy still.
Okay, how is he blowing his nose in the shower?
Well, here is Andy Norton from Arizona giving a few more details.
I was in the shower, and my doctor has told me that with the dry, hot summer months, it's really helpful to blow your nose while you're in the shower. So I've been regularly doing this for the last 6 months or so. Today, I was blowing my nose in the shower, and lo and behold, I blew out a Lego dot that has been in my nose for at least 26 years.
Wow.
26
years.
There you go.
Imagine what happens if he farts real bad.
What's going to come out? It's my pet gerbil.
There's the finished Lego.
There's the rest.
I thought he ran away 25 years ago. Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins got pulled over by police on the way to the stadium yesterday. He was put on the ground in handcuffs just hours before the game against the Jaguars. But he played and helped the Dolphins win with an 80-yard touchdown. I heard the statistics. I don't know if he was officially arrested, but they said that he was the only player in NFL history to be arrested and score a touchdown in the same day.
I have no idea, for real. No idea, man. It's crazy. It wasn't disrespectful, because my mom didn't raise me that way. Didn't cuss. Didn't do none of that. So, like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out, man.
I guess the police officer was put on administrative leave. Were you aware of that?
Nah, I wasn't. That should tell you everything you need to know then. You feel me? It should tell you everything you need to know.
And details are a little sketchy, but he was pulled over for allegedly speeding in a post-game press conference. That's when we heard those comments. Some of Tariq's teammates stopped on their way to the stadium to see what was going on. Like they saw Tariq pulled over, so they pulled over to see what was happening. Defensive tackle KLAQ Campbell says he tried to de-escalate the situation, and he ended up being put in handcuffs as well. This was a home game, so these guys were the home team. Miami-Dade police are investigating the situation, and one of the officers involved, as you heard there, has been placed on administrative duties. After scoring that 80-yard touchdown in the third quarter, Tyreek Hill put his hands behind his back like he was being handcuffed. Tyreek says that he admires police officers and wants to be a police officer someday. So let's listen to that clip real quick.
I do want to be able to use this platform to say, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? It's crazy. I want to be a cop one day. I got a state trooper, had all that, so I got a lot of respect for cops, man. But figure out a way to, flip this and, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, so that way we can team together and, do something positive for the community, because that's what it's all about, bro. I have a platform, and I want to be able to team up with you guys, so that's all I got to say.
I noticed he's saying a thing that my daughter constantly says, bruh.
Bruh. Yeah, she does say that a lot.
You've heard it?
Yeah, she's basically a dude.
Hey,
when she's, to me, it's like...
Can you take out the trash? Bruh.
Come on, bro.
The Dolphins ended up winning on Jason Sanders' kick. He drilled a game-winning 52-yard field goal in the final seconds to win it for the Dolphins.
A 52-yard field goal try to break a tie. And the kick is up, and it's going to be good from 52. Miami zeros on the clock, has won on a game-winning 52-yard field goal.
An exciting day in football. The Cowboys won. They beat the Cleveland Browns, but, again, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but Cleveland looked awful. Maybe it's because the Cowboys were so good, but Cleveland was supposed to have one of the best defenses coming off last season, and the defense wasn't the problem. The quarterback was the problem. Deshaun Watson was the problem for Cleveland. And let's see. In a speech, Donald Trump, and then he posted on social media about this, he has threatened to jail adversaries, that is, people who don't go along with him. He's still claiming fraud in the 2020 presidential election. He issued the threat on Truth Social and repeated his false claims about the 2020 election being stolen. He said, when I win, those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Now, that could include just a campaign worker, who does this diligently. It could include, if he calls up a governor like he did the governor of Georgia and says, find me 14,000 more votes, and then the governor doesn't do that. I mean, if you take him at his word, I guess he might potentially jail that person too. So here's NBC report, and we are only one day out from the presidential debate.
We're run by stupid people, and we found that out at the debate with Joe. How did that work out? And we're going to find it out again on Tuesday night.
And in a social media post online suggesting he may imprison his political opponents if he wins, repeating his election fraud lie, and writing, anyone believed to have cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. The latest signal he may not accept the results if he loses. Mr. Trump also blasted.
He doesn't accept the results if he wins. When he won in 2016, he made claims that it was rigged, and he won by actually more. So win or lose, if he wins, he's going to claim I should have won by more. If he loses, he's going to repeat 2020.
No, it's the perfect con man strategy. You win no matter what. I mean,
and can we also talk about how this is not how a presidential candidate behaves? This is how a mob boss, they intimidate, like intimidating witnesses.
Yeah, but you said it exactly right the first time. And on Friday, when I played clips of him having some word salad out, it was just like, oh, that's just Donald Trump. That's just how he talks. Right. This is just how he talks, man.
No. This is something different.
Is it because they're both speeches that he's giving? And if you don't take one seriously, you can't take the other necessarily seriously.
The one you played on Friday, the word salad quote, I couldn't. I couldn't make out what he was saying.
So let's not worry about this.
I can make out what he's saying here. He's saying that he's going to go after people and he's trying to intimidate them. Maybe this time when a governor gets a call and Trump says, "Find me $14,000." Maybe this time that governor says, "I'll find him." Yeah, I'll find him. I don't want to go to prison.
Tomorrow, it's the battle to end all battles. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris in a steel cage fight for the ages.
I'm going to defeat you very badly. That I can tell you.
Well, I'm the one who's going to defeat you. And defeat sounds like the feet, which, I have 2 of them. It's important to take care of your feet. Some people have athlete's foot. Some people like Joe, they have stinky feet.
What are you talking about?
You don't want to miss this no-holds-barred battle in the octagon.
You're going down, Kamala.
No, you're going down. And speaking of down, that's what you call the type of pillow that has feathers in it, right? It's a down pillow. I know how to get down. And, pillows are fluffy. So are marshmallows. They're fluffy, delicious. Ooh, s'mores are good. Think about that. Camping. Sometimes I go camping.
Does anybody have any earplugs?
Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Don't miss it.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Musil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show. This is not a recording. The first hour was. Technically, I guess the first 2 hours. But it was at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because I got all the way to work, found out I didn't have my key. And I thought, well, Joanna will be here. Thank God she'll let me in my studio. Joanna got here. She didn't have her key.
To Buzz's studio.
Yes, to the studio.
Because she lives in a different house than we do.
she lives right
across. Different studio.
Yeah,
she lives across the street.
We need to start getting those rocks for the hideaway.
Yeah, the hideaway keys.
Or just
that would look so ridiculous.
Just one rock.
We don't need a hideaway key. If anything, those draw attention because you see them before you go. That's one of those hideaway keys, like from Sky Mall.
There's just one rock in the hallway.
Got a few calls here. First of all, about Tyreek Hill.
Are you playing calls or am I playing any calls?
Well, I'm going to play the first couple because these just came in.
All right.
We had that story about Tyreek Hill, the Dolphins receiver who got pulled over and handcuffed, and one of the police officers involved in that has been put on administrative duty. So here's a call.
Yo, good morning. Friendly neighborhood line cook here. And on that Tyreek Hill thing, that cop was just being racist. Saw a black man driving a nice car, looking good, probably wearing some jewelry or something like that. And decided, I'm going to pull him over, whatever. Let's just be real about it. Let's not try and sugarcoat it and everything.
Well, let me interrupt just long enough to say, and I'll complete the call. They were a few blocks from the stadium. So the cop, unless he's a complete non-sports fan at all had to have put 2 and 2 together. There's probably a lot of traffic out there.
There might be a player.
Like that time that they got Scotty Scheffler.
You know, that cop got fired.
And that cop got fired.
Really? For arresting Scotty Scheffler?
Unrelated, he stole from a suspect. The cop who arrested Scotty Scheffler at the U.S. Open.
They found out he was a thief.
Yeah, they found out he was
a dirty cop.
You know, he arrested
He
a
was
guy
doing
who had
some thievery.
$14,000, and when it came time to get his money, he only had $10,000.
Wow.
Whatever. Cop's probably a racist a-hole and all that crap.
Okay, you're being tougher on the cop than Tyreek Hill
Then
was.
right. Even he said.
Hometown, he's a well-known player. How do you mix that up if he was speeding?
I don't know. They arrested the number 1 golfer in the world, the Scotty Scheffler deal.
I had no idea.
On the grounds, out in front of the golf course where they were playing the U.S. Open. You want to talk about clueless. And also, PGA, nobody recognized the number 1 player. You need to promote Scotty Scheffler more because he's not going to promote himself. He's not that type of guy.
They're investigating that he's going to a game. I don't know. Seems a little real fishy to me, but hey, whatever. Let's respect the police because they're all good. Yeah, have a good one.
Okay, all right.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if I agree with the general tone of that call.
Right. You know, I was just thinking about that. I was hanging out with some Border Patrol agents this weekend. I have a good friend who's a Border Patrol agent. And that's like this. El Paso is the only place you can really say that. Or if you live close to Canada.
What, that I hang out with a bunch
Border Patrol, like here
Arizona
or
and California, the Mexico border.
Yeah, but I don't know how easy it is and prevalent for, you know, just to be part of the community of people. I think if you talk about Border Patrol agents anywhere else in the center of the country, they go, what? You have like...
Sure. Yeah, it's unique to the Mexico border. What do you think those Border Patrol up on the Canada border are doing? Just like kicking
twiddling their
back
thumbs,
and playing Royal Match on their phones, or
no? They got to protect the border.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they probably have to chase too many people through the desert.
For all of those guys who are bringing cheap medicine from Canada over here to us. They have
smuggling cheap Ozempic.
Yeah.
Hey, Cappy. Here's another call, and this caller is reminding us of something very important happening tonight, okay?
Hey, that reminds me. I have to go to the Jelly Roll concert tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah.
You know, I just remember that's expensive. Even those lemonades are selling there. They're like $10 for lemon and water, bro. Come on. Jesus. I know there's all this stuff going on in the world right now, but I mean, concert, food, and beverage prices are up through the roof, bro. Through the roof. It's insane. Maybe the Q could give us some vouchers, some coupons.
Shoot.
Coupon. All right, later, guys.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, we don't have tickets to the concert, but we do have vouchers so you can get a lemonade.
Yeah, a $10 lemonade.
That concert is tonight.
Talk to God when I need a favor. And I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor.
Yeah.
God, I need a favor.
Damn.
Man.
You going to this one, Joanne?
Yes, I'm so
I
excited.
just realized you look a lot like Jelly Roll.
I don't.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
do.
try and put like little tattoos on my face, like Jelly Roll.
You're going to tattoo your face.
Joanna,
like
look at that picture of Jelly Roll. Couldn't Buzz be his like uncle?
Let's put some tattoos on Buzz's face.
You could
I have
be like some type of family member in the Roll family.
Maybe you need to go as Jelly Roll for Halloween.
You could be Cronut.
You could be
Jelly Roll.
You're even laughing at your own joke.
Disappointed in everybody here, but especially Joanna.
Yeah, he's Bear Claw.
Fair claw.
You know, tonight is
I'm
the
sushi roll.
I didn't even realize. Good morning, Jelly Roll. That probably has been sold out for a while, hasn't it?
Like the first week. It's for like
I
a
don't
year.
know if they ever opened any new seats up, but when they went on sale, we had an immediate sellout. And if they open any other seats, I haven't heard about it.
It's the Hollywood cheese, man. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. Joanna, tell us more.
All right, Joanna, why don't you let us know what's going on in the Hollywood Cheesemate, please?
Sure. Jimmy Fallon is going to a 4-day work week. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is changing up its schedule. It will start airing new episodes only 4 nights a week instead of 5, with a repeat set to air on Friday. See, even Jimmy Fallon does replays. So everyone should get off our back.
I've been doing this show a lot longer than Fallon's been doing the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
I think maybe I should. I want a Fallon deal.
We should go to a 4-day work
No,
week.
it's not just the Jimmy Fallon show. It's the Tonight Show. The Tonight Show has been going on for 30, 40 years.
No. 60.
5 longer than that, yeah.
And they're going to. You've outworked the Tonight Show.
Well, but I didn't start in 1958 or whatever.
You didn't?
No.
Hey, the question is this: when you started here on the morning show, was Carson still on, or was it already Leno?
They transitioned like the year after I moved here. So 92, Carson was still on the air, but everybody expected him to announce his
They
retirement.
had Gary Shandling and Joan Rivers guest hosting.
No, Joan Rivers had burned those bridges big time. But yeah, it was still Carson when I moved to El Paso.
Okay.
Not for long.
Steve, did you know?
You guys,
What?
we've got to get through the Hollywood.
Oh, my bad.
Cheesemate.
Yeah.
I only have 2 stories,
okay.
because we're going.
Did you know that we weren't here for the first hour of the show?
Oh, hi, Steve. Yeah.
What do you mean you weren't here?
Nobody was here for the first hour of the show.
You guys all overslept?
I was here.
I showed up and my
like a good
key.
worker.
He forgot his key.
No, I didn't forget it. My key somehow had slipped off the key ring.
How's that possible?
It's possible.
That's what I asked him.
If your key ring gets
Have
too
you ever
loose.
tried to put
Wait a
a
minute.
key on
Your
a
fob? Your
No,
fob?
the one to the door
the
in
one
here.
to this studio.
Oh, so
right
you got
here.
into the building. You just couldn't get into your own studio.
And then Joanna had lent her key out.
Look, it just did it again. My what's that called?
Fob.
No. The tile.
No.
What tile?
Like an air tag.
Yeah, AirTag. There you go.
Just flew off the same key.
Anyways, so Joanna lent hers out.
You need to tighten that thing up.
So
Joanna
I have
lent
a
hers
key,
out.
but I lent it to Rebecca
To do
so
this
she
thing
could
behind
decorate
you.
that studio.
And
you lost it the first
the
week.
first week I started working. Yeah.
So nobody could get
Nobody
in.
had a key.
Yeah.
Nobody could get into
I
the
had to
show.
go all the way home,
back home.
get another key.
Oh, you had a spare.
Yeah, luckily.
Well, yeah, I had one on my other key ring.
Just out of curiosity,
Had your own Prince Harry.
why couldn't you just do the show in the in the studio in the control room?
I wouldn't
He
have.
is useless.
Yeah,
Buzz calls himself like a organ or what was it? What do you call it? Like a ham organ?
He's like a conductor.
A conductor. He has
like
all these
a one-man band.
like a one-man band.
Really,
yeah.
I'm just like
He has all these buttons and machines to his
Like,
left hand.
No,
all of
serious
these
question.
machines are like an extension of me. And
Serious question, though.
Yeah.
If you were just in the studio with Joanna and Nico and you were just there and you had nothing to
He'd
look
be
at besides the
useless
microphone,
to me,
would you be
Steve.
completely lost?
it would be very, very difficult to do the show.
He'd be
It was
so
much better.
cranky about it that I would
Right.
probably send him home.
Couldn't take calls. Couldn't play anything off the key.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Reading news stories?
So I made the decision to drive home and get the other key.
And Joanna, did you just run best up for the first
Yeah,
hour?
I was here.
Okay.
Joanna didn't think I was coming back.
I did not think he would come back.
Well, good for you.
I'm hoping some of this work ethic and stick-to-itiveness is going to rub off on on one other member
Don't
of
get your
the show.
hopes up, buddy.
Huh? What? What? Who? Huh?
All right, what's your other story?
Kathy Bates has announced that she is retiring from acting, revealing that her role in the upcoming Matlock reboot will be her final performance.
Did you hear
What
that
a way to go out.
Kathy Bates is going to be in a reboot of Matlock?
It's really pushing that on me on Hulu, I think.
Is Andy
It
Griffith
looks good.
supposed to have been her father?
I don't know. I've never seen Matlock.
You never saw the old Matlock?
No.
Matlock was good.
Andy
Matlock,
Griffith.
yeah.
I don't know.
Didn't he play like a lawyer?
He was like an old country
Like a
lawyer.
country lawyer
and
who
he'd get
would
up
solve
and
some
he'd talk
crimes.
such common sense that he'd outsmart all those city slickers.
City Slickers. In an interview with the New York Times, Bates shared that she had planned to quit acting after a negative experience on a recent film set, but changed her mind after receiving the Matlock script and falling in love with the character. Despite her passion for the project, she confirmed that this is her last dance, with no intention on taking on future roles, citing the physical toll of her 18-episode commitment. Bates has had a storied career starring in iconic films like Titanic and Fried Green Tomatoes, and even winning an Oscar for her role in Misery.
The one where she broke Jimmy Kahn's foot with a hammer. God, that's one of the the most horrifying scenes in a movie I've ever seen.
She also had a cameo on The Office for about 4 or 5
she did,
shows.
yes.
So that's
correct, Steve.
I remember that.
Matlock premieres Sunday, September 22nd on CBS. And with your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
All right, a lot of sports to talk about. The Miners lose their home opener against Southern Utah. It did go to overtime, I hear, though.
It did go to overtime.
All right, we'll talk more about that. And the Cowboys win. Yeah, the Cowboys really beat up on what looked like the worst team in the NFL yesterday.
Well, the big story there is that Dak has a huge new contract. You guys didn't talk about this?
No, it's all for you.
Been here for an hour, so
we talked. We're ready. We're leaving it all for you. Also, didn't Texas really take it to Illinois?
Michigan. They just killed him in the big house. It was a big one.
People are going to start taking the Longhorns seriously.
They should, because that team's legit.
Oh no, Illinois beat Notre Dame or something, right?
That was Northern Illinois.
NIU beat Notre Dame, and I think Notre Dame is 0-2 yet now, or was this their first game?
No, I believe Notre Dame. I think they're 1-1.
1-1. All right, we'll check that. We'll check some other college scores for you. The U.S. Open wrapped up, and a whole lot of sports to talk about with Steve Kaplowitz when we come back right after this.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Moving. The Food and Drug Administration, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Kaplowitz.
I'm a big, stupid jerk. I'm a pain in your ass. I drink all your beer. I'll eat the last slice.
Sports. And it is time to talk sports with Steve Kaplowitz. Q Sports Shorts with Buzz and Cappy is brought to you by Viva Auto Group. Viva Auto makes it happen. And good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning.
All right,
what a great football weekend it was. For if you love watching games, that's for sure. There were a ton of them over the weekend.
Started off strong in the NFL on Thursday night.
Oh yeah,
Chiefs, and then continued
Friday night. We got to watch that game in Brazil between the Pack Attack and the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. That was fun. The Saquon Barkley debut in Philly. He was awesome. Looked
the
better
Eagles
than
did
ever.
have the home field advantage.
Yeah.
How did they decide who gets the home field advantage when you play in Brazil?
No, I don't know. They must flip a coin. I don't get how that works at all.
All right. Got a call for you already this morning, Steve, and it's about UTEP Miner football.
Hey, morning show. This is for Cappy. Cappy, just want to talk about the game on Saturday. It was a great crowd. One of the best crowds I've seen in a long time. Scotty was doing good. He had the crowd fired up. My question is, why was the Fitzgerald, the coach from Southern Utah, so against El Paso in his comments that he made on Friday or on Thursday? Why was he so against El Paso? Why was he just giving us so much shade, talking bad about Juarez and El Paso? You could tell towards the end of the game, it was getting very tense. Didn't know how it was going to end because the players from Southern Utah were just talking so much smack. And you know,
the players from Southern Utah were talking so much smack?
Yeah.
Crowd from UTEP was back at them. So it was crazy. It was a fun experience. Just sad that it ended that way. All right, guys.
First of all, is Southern Utah a Division I NCAA school?
Yes, but they are FCS, not FBS. Because remember, there's a lot. To be Division I doesn't necessarily mean everybody's on the same level. Okay,
it all sounds like BS.
It is. It's a bunch of BS. So they are part of the football championship series, not the football bowl subdivision. So
are the Miners going to have? And I'm asking this as a legitimate question. Are they going to have a more beatable opponent for the rest of the season than Southern Utah? I mean, it seems like looking at the schedule, if they were going to beat anybody, it would have been Southern Utah.
You could say Kennesaw State later in the season could be that game, but this was it. This was supposed to be the game on the schedule that you could mark down as a W. Yeah. And we knew it would be tough. Last year, Southern Utah played Austin Peay, which was the team that Scotty Walden was coaching. And, he brought a bunch of guys with him from that team. And they played to like a 48-45 game where I think Austin Peay won in double overtime or something along those lines. So we knew it wouldn't be easy. But UTEP had a 17-6 lead at halftime. And then everything fell apart. The defense started giving up points and was getting worn down again for the second week in a row. Offense couldn't do anything, and it wasn't until the very last play of the game where they finally scored to tie the game on a trick play to send it into overtime. But look, Buzz, fact is this. Miners had so many chances, and they got beat on the line of scrimmage again on the offense and defensive side. That's going to be an issue this season. The defense is wearing down. That's going to be an issue. The offense they look great to start, just like they did against Nebraska, and then they can't capitalize on it.
New coach, new players, new schedules.
The whole new players.
The El
That's
Paso
crazy.
Times says on the front page of the sports page today, same old Miners.
Oh, yeah. I wrote about this. Actually, I wrote about this on our website yesterday. And the story I put together, and I took a little while. It was like, I don't know. I wrote it for, quite a bit yesterday. It says, UTEP football loss to Southern Utah deflates El Paso community. And I feel like, and I really do feel like that's the case, because you got to realize something, okay? Had they lost to Southern Utah and the coach didn't open up his mouth, it would have been one thing. But when the coach said what he said.
What did he say? I'm just watching they got Tyreek Hill's.
You haven't played the audio clip, or you did?
We did.
We have. I'm wondering why were you pointing that out?
Just they showed him down on the ground. There must have been like 8 cops around him. It looked like.
Oh, you want to talk about Tyreek Hill? We'll talk about that
Go
later.
ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, look, the point is this: the comments that were made.
What did he say?
So what he said was he joked and jest and called El Paso and Juarez great vacation communities. Even laughed about Juarez when he said that they were going to be on their lawn chairs and overlooking beautiful Juarez. And then he just kind of chuckled about it. So you could tell he was just, making fun of the fact that they're going to an area where there's really, to him, nothing to do, even though he called it a great vacation town.
He was joking.
Yes.
You're saying.
Well, yeah,
it is a great vacation town.
You ever taken a vacation to Juarez for a weekend?
Not to Juarez.
So anyway, after that, he talked about how, there'd be the 20 or 25,000 in the Sun Bowl, essentially talking about how nobody ever shows up for games, which is true. I mean, the UTEP doesn't get a lot of fans for their games.
Times article said there were 41,000 fans. I don't know. Did that seem legit?
It looked good. Yeah, it looked good.
I was telling them earlier, I had a bunch of friends invite me to tailgates this weekend. And it seemed like a lot of people were out.
Let me say this.
Well, yeah, everybody gets excited. It's a new season. Who knows? Maybe they'll suddenly turn around, and then you get creamed on the road by Nebraska, and then you get beat by
Southern Utah,
a team you're supposed to.
Oh, please! And Southern Utah got paid $300,000 to come to El Paso and win. And
that's the best when you get a big payout and come away with the win on a road game. That's like cause for celebration for a school like Southern Utah.
And I'll be honest with you, this was one of the worst losses I've seen. Like, I've seen a lot of them, right? And I've seen other FCS losses. I pointed out in the story that Gary Nord lost to Cal Poly back in 2003, which is what helped lead to his dismissal and Mike Price coming to town. We talked about Dana Dimmel losing to Northern Arizona when he first arrived. Those are FCS teams.
This is Scotty Walton's first home game as a this is only the second game he's coached for the Miners.
But because the other coach piped off during his radio show, and then everybody started talking about it and getting fired up, and fans didn't just want to win. They wanted to see them crush Southern Utah. They wanted to see them humiliate Southern Utah. A lot of people took those comments personal. It made the game different because now fans came in not wanting to see a win. They wanted to see a beatdown.
By the way,
instead, they got a loss.
How many people plan their vacations for Southern Utah?
I didn't even know where it was. I mean, you
don't know what city it's in?
It's
Orem?
Cedar City, I think is what it's called. Cedar City, Utah.
For all I know, it could be like a world-class ski resort. I have no idea.
Maybe. But I mean, it was bad, guys. It was bad. And you want to know something? The worst part is this, okay? A lot of fans went to that game, like they always do. I'll say this about UTEP fans. They give them a chance.
They're gluttons for punishment.
Well, not they're gluttons for punishment. When they're asked to come out and support, they do. They come out. They support. They were behind.
I wish the
Scotty
team
Walden.
did.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the whole thing. And part of it is, well, when you have a roster that has so many new players that don't know El Paso, they don't know the community, they can't relate. So when somebody badmouths that or like says something about the town, and all of a sudden the whole town gets fired up and upset, but the players don't They've only been here for 6-7 months.
Right.
They don't know El Paso. So that's the thing too. And it's difficult. I listened after the game. They said, well, it's early in the season.
You shouldn't have to be insulted to get up for a game. This is your college football career. You get up for every game.
Exactly. And this is a game you're supposed to win, so you got to win it. You have to win it. You have 41,000 people here. They're coming to see you play, okay? And losing a game in overtime to a school like this is just, it's not acceptable. You can't do it.
We're going to take a break and finish up with sports in just a second. We've got to get Steve off in time for his meeting, but we got
to get him off. We got to get Steve off.
Oh, please.
we got to get Steve off. No,
Hey,
you're right. No,
that's what I want every Monday morning. Show up here and get off.
Yeah, there you
What
go.
is up, y'all? It's Wrestler Guy. Hope everyone is doing well. This is for Cappy. Cappy, what did you think of the New Mexico State Liberty game? For the longest time, I thought it was great. NMSU was doing, fairly decent, I think. And they had the game. They had the game until the last 2 minutes when, typical Aggies, always choking the last 2 minutes of the game. They had it, man. They had it. I don't know. What's your take? Because looking at the rest of the schedule, I don't think the Aggies are going to be doing very well. I mean, I'd be surprised if we could, actually keep up against Fresno State or let alone Texas A&M. But,
Wasn't Liberty undefeated? Thank you, Wrestler Guy, by the way.
Yeah, Wrestler's a good call.
Wasn't Liberty undefeated last season? And a lot of people said, hey, they ought to be in the playoff because they won all their games.
Yeah, Liberty had a great season last year. And remember, they came to UTEP and beat UTEP at the end of the season and had some fun here, too. Everybody's having fun in UTEP. I swear to God. that was another thing. Guys showed up, and after winning, they're posing on the field and just...
rubbing it in.
Yeah, 100%. So UTEP's they've had a rough go. But let's get to New Mexico State, because that's what Wrestler Guy wants to talk about. The Aggies had a 9-point lead with 7 minutes left to go. It was the biggest story in college football at the time. People were talking about it nationally, like, oh my God, Liberty's about to lose to New Mexico State. The Aggies
coming
were doing
off a perfect season.
Yeah, the Aggies were doing everything right in this football game. Everything you could possibly ask for right, they were doing. And then Liberty scores, they get the ball back, they score again in the final with a minute left to go, and just like that, you imagine you play a team so good for basically 3 quarters, almost 4 quarters of football. But you know what? They just couldn't finish. And the thing is, you have to understand, New Mexico State lost their head coach to Vanderbilt. They lost a lot of their key players last year to Vanderbilt. So now you have, the Aggies are rebuilding. There's no other way to put it. They're rebuilding. But I thought that this would have been such a big statement to go out and beat the reigning champs and do that, in Cruces. It would have sent a huge message to the rest of college football. And unfortunately for the Aggies, they just couldn't close.
Wasn't in the stars.
No, it wasn't.
All right, we'll take a break and come back. We've got more. We're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk the Dallas Cowboys. And I know the Super Bowl talk is going to start, but Deshaun Watson looked like the worst quarterback in the history of the NFL against the Cowboys yesterday.
The Daily Calendar. Yuppers is September 9th, California Admission Day. I admit it, I'm California. Became the 31st state in 1850. Thanks, Mexico. It's Emergency Services Day, saluting those who keep us safe. It's Box Wine Day for those of you who want to get drunk on a budget. It's Wonderful Weirdos Day for people like Carl. Hey. And it's the start of the prestigious Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF. TIFF. And that's your Daily Calendar.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
EPI is manageable. IdentifyEPI.com and speak with your doctor. That's IdentifyEPI.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
El Paso's own live and local, The Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
Totally care who wins. If there's a net or a hoop or a hole in the ground, I hope they get it in. If they want to go to all the bases, I hope they do. If they're supposed to run past a line or whatever, I hope they do that too. Sports go sports. Athletics are number one. Participants are heroes. Go team, yeah.
Football!
That is Joanna's sports anthem. Woo! So Joanna can now feel free to join the conversation.
Go team, yeah.
I promise I really care.
Hey, we got some great questions for Cappy in our app chat. Don't forget you can access that on the KLAQ mobile app.
God, are they all about UTEP minors?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Cool Guy says, I was watching the UTEP game on ESPN. What sucks, though, is they wouldn't display downs and yards to go on the screen. Do you know what that's about?
No, listen.
ESPN's off my TV because Uverse is blaming Disney and Disney is blaming Uverse. It's one of those things.
First off,
all of the ESPNs are off my.
First off, this is ESPN Plus, which I think you probably would be able to get even with your situation.
Dude,
because
I was
it's
trying to
completely
watch
different.
all kinds of games on any ESPN, ESPNU, ESPN
No,
West.
this has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with your cable. ESPN Plus is something where you have to log into the ESPN app to watch it.
No, he would never do that.
You would have to pay for, and you would have to pay for that.
That's one step.
Two strikes against
Be
Fox.
for real.
So it's just,
you know the thing about ESPN on TV, right?
Yeah, I know what's going on. That's
Jesus.
well, I'm a Spectrum subscriber, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But I know you have issues, right?
Do you know why they don't display those things? Like the yards and downs ago?
So they're supposed to, because they're all supposed to use the same ESPN graphics for this. That's the whole idea about being with Plus. But I know UTEP has their minor vision production with the trucks that do all this. And I don't know, maybe the graphics were down. Maybe they just don't. I don't know why they wouldn't use it, because they're all supposed to look the exact same. And it is being produced out of El Paso, not being produced out of another city.
That makes sense.
It's a good question. I have no idea.
Joe asks, says it's okay that the Cowboys won because that tells me they're one step closer to losing in the playoffs. You know,
That's the story. That's the story.
That's true, though. It doesn't matter how many games the Cowboys win this season. It doesn't matter. When the playoffs come, if they can't win one, they're what's the point?
This is a great regular season football team. It is. It's a great
Let's
regular
go ahead
season.
and talk about this. Dak didn't look great yesterday, you know? Dak didn't look great, but the Browns looked awful, especially Deshaun Watson. I think he doesn't last more than 2 games after this before they bench him. And remember, they got rid of Baker Mayfield to bring in Deshaun Watson. Yeah. They were part of that swap, and Baker Mayfield had arguably the best day of any NFL quarterback yesterday.
Oh yeah, he looked great.
Yeah.
Wait, so Dak is not confirmed for their quarterback right now?
No, Dak
we're talking about Deshaun Watson. Dak was okay.
Dak wasn't
great.
But good enough.
Deshaun Watson looked like he'd never played a game of football before.
Deshaun Watson, 3 or 4 years ago, was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when he was with the Houston Texans. Then he got into the whole scandal and controversy regarding the massages. And once that happened, and he was out of football for a while, then he was traded to Cleveland. He has been an absolute dud. Probably the worst quarterback in the NFL ever since he debuted as a Cleveland Brown.
He looked like the worst quarterback in the NFL.
And they owe him a fortune, by the way. They signed him like a $220 million contract, whatever it is. They're paying him a lot of money to suck.
Did you catch the Cowboys game on TV?
Yesterday, let me think.
Well,
yeah,
I did
watch
watch Tom
part of it.
Brady's first game.
I watched, again.
And people are offering opinions on how Tom Brady did as an announcer.
Let me hear.
Not good. I mean, basically, they're saying, oh, okay, it was the guy's first game, and they were almost obsequious to
wow, look at you throwing out the big words.
They were,
yeah,
they were very friendly to Tom, doing everything they could to make Tom Brady feel comfortable, but he did not sound comfortable.
Well, listen, I thought that Greg Olson was a terrific analyst with Kevin Burkhardt.
Kevin Burkhardt is who Tom Brady was on. Yeah.
Yeah. And they got rid of Olson because of Brady. And
Olson was good.
Olson was excellent. And I mean, but again, he lost his job because it's Tom Brady. So, and nobody thinks Brady's not going to just become Tony Romo and show up in the booth and everybody's going to be like, wow,
yeah, that's what I said earlier. That maybe the better you are as a quarterback, the worse you are as a broadcaster or analyst.
He wasn't the worst of all time, and especially if you were to go back to like Joe Namath's first game in the booth.
Oh my God!
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
It was years after he was retired from broadcasting. But I guess Tom Brady's probably only going to get better.
You would hope. Aikman's really good on. Aikman
was good right out of the box.
Yeah.
Tony Romo was really good coming right out of the league.
Yeah, there's
Tom
been
Brady
others.
needs a little work.
Yes.
So you want to talk about Tyreek Hill for a second?
Yes. Oh,
What's
by the way,
latest that we know? Was he pulled over for any reason?
Speeding. Speeding to the stadium is the official reason they gave. They said he was going too fast.
All right.
On his way to the Hard Rock Stadium.
He was arrested just a few blocks from the stadium before the Dolphins played the Jaguars and put in handcuffs.
Yep. In front of teammates.
One of the officers has been put on administrative leave or administrative duties. So not leave, but administrative duties. Here's Tyreek Hill, who, by the way, returned one for 80 yards.
Did you see what they did for his touchdown celebration?
Yeah. He put his hands behind his back like he was being handcuffed.
Yeah, and his teammate detained him. It was great. They did like a whole reenactment after the touchdown yesterday.
That 80-yard touchdown went a long way toward helping Miami win their game against Jacksonville. Here's Tyreek after the game on why he was put in cuffs.
I have no idea, for real. No idea, man. It's crazy. It wasn't disrespectful, because my mom didn't raise me that way. Didn't cuss. Didn't do none of that. So, like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out, man.
I guess the police officer was put on administrative leave. Were you aware of that?
Nah, I wasn't. That should tell you everything you need to know then. You feel me? It should tell you everything you need to know.
Maybe Tyreek should call Scotty Scheffler.
Right.
He was incredibly eloquent. Like, honestly, there was another statement you had from him where...
he talks about turning into a positive and how much he respects the police and he wants to be a police officer.
I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? It's crazy. Like, I want to be a cop one day. I got a state trooper, had all that, so I got a lot of respect for cops, man. But figure out a way to, like, flip this and, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, so that way we can team together and, do something positive for the community. Because that's what it's all about, bro. I have a platform, and I want to be able to team up with you guys. So that's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm. By the way, congratulations to think about this. He was in cuffs, comes back, and scores an 80-yard touchdown. Where does that happen?
I don't know if he was officially arrested or not, but they capped it off with a 52-yard field goal. The Dolphins were still talking about. Jason Sanders drilled a game-winning 52-yarder.
Big one.
A 52-yard field goal try to break a tie. And the kick is up, and it's going to be good from 52. Miami zeros on the clock, has won on a game-winning 52-yard field goal.
I love Kevin Harlan. He's going to be, by the way, the voice tonight for Monday Night Football with the 49ers and the Jets. And I will be live at Border City Ale House tonight, 1506 Lee Trevino, for our first Monday Night Football party of the year. You know what I'm excited about the most? I'm going to wear my Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey. That was,
Why do you have an Aaron Rodgers
this is a great story. So last year, when Aaron Rodgers was the Jets and all the hype, I went to a buddy and I go, hey, can you get the Rodgers Jets jersey? He goes, yeah, perfect. So I said, I'll take one. So it didn't come in time last year for the game when he gets hurt, 4 plays in. So I asked the guy, hey, I said, can you hold that jersey and just return it? He goes, man, sorry, it's already on the way from China. So it arrived about 3 weeks into the season. I've never worn it. And tonight at the Ale House, I will be breaking out that Aaron Rodgers jersey that's been in my closet since he got hurt last year.
Real quick, Donald Trump said in a post that what they did with the rule change in the NFL, where on the kick return, it makes it super boring. And what is all of this about? And is it true?
They're trying to make it safer on the kickoffs and trying to do it where you're not going to hurt, because normally guys have this huge running start, you get these massive collisions, and they're trying to...
when they first came out with the XFL, and this was like 25 years ago, the XFL was like, football has got too much P words. And they were like, no fair catch. You can level somebody on a kickoff. You can just,
oh my God.
The original stuff.
Obliterate a defenseless punt receiver,
It's
and
changed.
Up skirts of the, just basically just the camera was right up the skirts of the cheerleaders who were dressed like strippers.
But that was Vince McMahon back in like the heyday of when it was still like the WWF.
It was a cross between wrestling and football. That one.
Yeah, think about this.
That was before he got in trouble for all the sexual misconduct.
Jesse, I think it was like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jesse Ventura was like the first color analyst for the first XFL game. So yeah.
The halftime show has been announced for the Super Bowl. Joanna, already we know who's going to be doing the halftime show. Do you want to hear who it is?
Yeah, who?
Kendrick Lamar.
Is Drake going to be there too?
Oh,
my God, that would be awesome.
That would be the
Amazing.
event of the year. If the lights come up, it's totally dark at halftime. The lights come up, and you've got a ring like a cage match
It'd be awesome.
from wrestling.
It would be
and it's
awesome.
Kendrick Lamar and Drake are in there.
Yeah.
And first they're going to have a rap battle, and then they're just going to start letting punches fly. Would that not
It'd be
get
the
so
best.
many
I
people
would
to
watch
tune in?
that.
Yeah,
Especially
I
if you
would
had-
pay for that. If
Especially if you had like Kendrick Lamar's fans on one side, Drake's on the other, and then as they fight, the fans fight.
And then they
you
start
got like
fighting?
it's pandemonium. It'd be the greatest.
Also, I don't listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar, but every time I've heard a Kendrick Lamar song, there's an ample profanity. Would you agree with that?
Okay, yeah.
In Kendrick Lamar songs?
Just announced, Kendrick Lamar will headline the Super Bowl halftime show. And now's your chance to get an exclusive peek at his rehearsals for the family-friendly broadcast.
Hey, devil is a lie. Here's God. Hey, freaky. Need to stay inside.
Yes, feast your eyes and ears on these versions of Kendrick Lamar's songs that are acceptable for children to hear. Exclusive footage of Kendrick Lamar rehearsing for the Super Bowl halftime show, which again, children will be watching.
All right.
Don't miss it.
Thank you, Cappy.
All right, Buzz.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
Edge and Edge High Mile on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Interman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
Hey, we are 1 week out, but I want to make sure everybody knows the cash codes are coming back, and they're going to pay out to the tune of $30,000. Win cash. KLAQ starts giving out cash codes that could win you $30,000 a week from today, September 16th. Every day, there are going to be 10 $100 winners, and the possibility that somebody, and it could be you, is going to win $30,000. Contest starts in 1 week, but we have information available and the rules and how to play and everything. Just open the KLAQ mobile app for details. Money talks. The Q cash codes pay starting 1 week from today on 95.5 KLAQ. All right, time to get to our news headlines for today.
Wake up, fool! Wow!
today is Monday.
TGIM.
And here is Nico Adjemian with our top stories of the day. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
Yesterday came to an end with no results in the Kentucky manhunt for a suspect alleged to have fired multiple rounds at passing vehicles on I-75. The shooting happened around 5:30 p.m. local time on Saturday, with at least 9 vehicles hit by gunfire, according to the sheriff's office.
Jeez, 4 people wounded.
5 people were injured.
5 people wounded.
Yes, thank you. Don't get ahead of my story. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office is looking for 32-year-old Joseph A. Couch, who police say was off exit 49 on the interstate and not in a vehicle when he opened fire. In a late press update, Deputy Gilbert Acciardo with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office is talking about how they're going to keep searching.
We're still searching, and we're going to continue to search until it gets dark, until it becomes dangerous for us to be in the woods. We've not had any luck so far, no trace so far.
He also says it's a dangerous environment for everybody involved.
As this continues, it becomes more stressful for the community. It becomes more stressful for the officers that are there because we're looking, and we're trying to find him, and we haven't found him, and it's just stressful for everybody.
All 5 of the victims were in stable condition in local hospitals as of last night, even though some of those injuries were considered very serious, including one person who was shot in the face. Authorities don't believe anyone was targeted by the shooter, who they say chose the location. Couch has a military background and served in the National Guard, and what officials described as a minimal criminal history that includes a traffic ticket and terroristic threat charge that was dismissed. Now, when I first heard this story, I probably assumed, like many, that this was an incident of road rage because it deals with a shooting on a busy highway.
No, this guy set up on foot.
This guy set up on foot and shot at passing cars. Nothing to do with road rage. Couch's vehicle and weapon, described as an AR rifle, were recovered by officers.
But they never caught him as of
As of now,
last night.
he is considered armed and extremely dangerous. Can you just keep me potted up for the entire time?
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have.
He's had to walk on over toward the interstate, which is where we recovered the weapon at.
So they got it.
My elbow touches
No, it doesn't.
the control.
No, I think it's because you're.
not your elbow,
I think
it's your tum-tum.
No, I think it's because he's like worried that the next clip is not going to be good or something. So he always wants to be able to.
He's worried about those dings from messages.
Ding.
He hates those.
Oh, you know what? Those come because my Facebook notification. Okay, I need to turn those off. Well, a wildfire called the Line Fire is exploding east of Los Angeles along the edge of San Bernardino's National Forest. The fire has already burned 27 square miles of grass as of yesterday morning, burning so hot on Saturday that it created a thunderstorm. Did you know that? Apparently,
so hot it created a thunderstorm.
Own thunderstorms. Evacuation orders were issued for Running Springs, Arrow Bear Lake, and several other areas. Officials say the fire is extremely unpredictable and could cause problems for firefighters because, well, right now it can move in any direction.
So as far as fires this summer, this one ranks up there because of the unpredictability. It might not be the biggest in acreage, but we have people in front of it, and it's very unpredictable, making it that, that much more dangerous.
We can't control the wind and we can't control the weather, so we have no idea where it's going to go. The downdrafts and the way that the fire is, there's no telling on which direction it's going to go and when or if it's going to affect the community.
Can I play the clip from the biologist about the Colorado wildfires that were started by flaming birds?
Okay, in a completely separate story, but still about wildfires.
Related to wildfires.
In relation to
wildfires. This is an unrelated but similar story.
Okay.
At least 3 wildfires this summer in Colorado have been blamed on flaming birds. It happens when birds fly into power lines and get electrocuted and then fall to the ground on fire.
Oh, my God.
3 just this summer alone that they know of.
But one of the most delicious ways of cooking a bird.
Here's biologist Taylor Barnes talking about the issue of flaming birds starting wildfires.
Most often when a bird is electrocuted, it doesn't catch fire and then we don't hear about it. Sometimes they burst into flames, sometimes they just fall dead. Sometimes what can happen is insects can get inside that cap. Well, that attracts birds. Birds like to eat insects, in particular woodpeckers and crows. Something like that could have sat on that jumper wire and pecked into that arrestor cap, trying to get at the insects, making contact with the energized components, and then causing it to catch fire.
Let's outlaw electricity.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's all.
Oh.
That was it.
Okay. Moving on. Well, it's not a surprise to many, except possibly those who thought they were getting away with it. I talked last week about how TikTokers were spreading what was called an infinite money glitch, which turned out was just you committing ATM fraud. Well, Chase Bank announced over the weekend that it's referring those individuals who participated in the infinite money glitch to authorities for prosecution. Unfortunately, for those who thought it would be a good thing, the trend was just another name for check fraud. And according to the Wall Street Journal, the bank is reviewing thousands of incidents.
But it worked. It was kind of like a hack, like a game hack for free points.
But it's not. No, because life is not a video game.
Yeah, I know, but people did it, and now they got to pay back.
No, not just pay back. They are going to be arrested and charged with fraud.
But the internet told me to do it.
Exactly. So God, isn't there just some thought that there's like a weird infantilization of society or babyfication, where it's like, you really thought in life there's such a thing as a infinite money glitch? Like,
Some people believe it, yeah.
Life is not like you
Free
can't get
money.
a Game Shark and then put in cheat codes for.
Nico, did you see our friend Dustin Ibarra was on his local news?
Yes.
There was like scammers with parking meters.
Well, my favorite part is where like he puts in the quotes like, I put my dates out where I was doing comedy, but they cut that part out of the interview.
But he's all like, I wish I would have thought of it.
Yeah, local news asked him for the
In
thought
LA?
in LA, on this. Anyways, the bank is reviewing thousands of those instances. If you're lucky, some of the people who participated saved some of the cash they withdrew. And
what if somebody withdrew $6,000? I'm randomly $6,000 that they didn't have and they spent it already.
Well, they should have spent it on attorney's fees.
Can they avoid getting in legal trouble by reimbursing the money? And they got a record of everybody who did it.
Yeah,
it's not like
it's electronic.
It's
You
not like
idiots.
they don't keep a record of it.
It's right. It's just writing a check to yourself. I mean, this probably was done floating a check. Is it floating a check or
check kiting?
Kiting, yes, check kiting.
Mm-hmm.
That's like an old term word.
It is an old term.
All right. Anyways, don't do it, guys. Moving on, there might be some rare good news for Boeing.
Oh boy,
the company and its largest, the company and its largest union said yesterday that they reached an agreement on a new contract. If it's ratified, it would avoid a strike of 33,000 workers that would have shut down aircraft production by the end of the week. The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers would get a 25% pay raise over the proposed 4-year contract. The union has demanded a 40% raise during negotiations. The new contract would also give workers $3,000 lump sum payments, a lower share of healthcare costs, and new 401k contributions up to $4,000 per employee. The contract will have to be ratified before midnight Pacific time on Thursday.
Since you're talking about Boeing and we need to take a break in the next couple of minutes anyway, those astronauts are still going to be there in February. Those astronauts that Boeing sent up on their Starliner can't get back to Earth.
But the Starliner just came back by itself this weekend.
Safely. But
well, I don't know what safely means because there's nobody in it, but yeah, it didn't crash. It landed
crash,
right?
Well, they were worried that if it came back with, I forget what the glitch was,
a helium
leak, that it might kill the astronauts. And now it looks like SpaceX may not be going up to get them. I think before this all shakes out, they may be up there longer than until February of next year.
God.
The two astronauts are Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore. Had traveled to the International Space Station. They took off on what was planned to be an 8-day mission. An 8-day mission.
That would be an interesting Gilligan's Island, remake.
Oh, dude! After Gilligan's Island, there was a kids series with Bob Denver called Astro Nuts. And it was basically, I don't remember if it was Alan Hale Jr. who played the skipper, but it was that type where they accidentally went into outer space. And so every week, it's basically Gilligan's Island in space.
Oh my God, they're living that life right now.
No way to make coconut phones, though.
Oh, but every week it was some adventure on some new planet. Does anybody remember the Gilligan's Island?
You're not talking to us, right? You're talking to the listeners.
Anybody out there? Do you remember it was
Gilligan?
It was Bob Denver and some guy that looked a lot like the skipper, and they were trapped in space. So it might be something like that.
And now thoughts from that woman stuck in space.
Oh, why did I listen to my parents? Become an astronaut. You'll see the world. Yeah, I see the world from my window every day. I want to see my bed. If I eat one more freeze-dried yam, I'll vomit. Where's an alien to burst through my stomach when I need one? Could I be stuck with worse people? This isn't a space station, it's NerdCon. No, Frank, you're not Luke Skywalker. I'm not Princess Leia, but I do feel like I'm on the Death Star. It's not even worth it to exercise. After all, what's the point of losing weight when you don't have any? I can't wait to tell girls who look up to me as a role model, do not stay in school. The only thing worse than being dumb and broke is being educated and afloat. I miss gravity.
Those were thoughts from that woman stuck in space.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from Led Zeppelin to Soundgarden.
Buy Sarah Farms milk. Sarah Farms, where their milk is legendary.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Jelly Roll tonight at the Don Haskins Center. Joanna,
Yeah,
remind us, how did you end up getting your tickets? Because when you tried to get them when they went on sale, they were already sold out, right?
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kevin.
But you're
Yes,
going tonight.
I am going tonight.
Because-
Thanks to our wonderful boss who
Right.
gave me tickets.
Yeah, but
because you complained about it on the air.
I didn't complain.
yes, you
All right,
did.
you
Okay,
brought it up.
You brought it up on air.
I didn't complain, though. I said I was patiently waiting
Boy.
for the email from our boss that says, hey, there's extra
And
tickets.
then I'm like, what about any for me and Buzz? And he's like, nah, sorry, no more. All right.
Joanna, would it be fair to say that you needed a favor?
Talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer.
Nico, do you want me to play a couple of calls and then you got a couple more news stories? And an Am I the A-hole? Wait, what was the thing? You told me there was a topic about lifestyles called soft swinging. Were you going to tell me about that?
Soft swinging.
Sure, I'll tell you all about soft swinging.
Intriguing, right?
Before you get into any neckline calls, got a couple of app chat messages. Thank you for those. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Says when we sent a whole crew to space and worked with the Chinese government to bring back a man stranded on Mars in The Martian. Matt Damon.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
why can't we get those two people back from the space station?
They're just in orbit around the Earth. They're not on Mars. All right. Anything else?
Yeah. Ray says, I don't remember any show that you're talking about with Bob Denver in space like that. Hold on.
Oh, I did get a call about this during the break.
But there was a Saturday morning cartoon on CBS called Gilligan's Planet.
Yes.
Everyone from the show was just on a different planet. Is that what you were talking about?
No.
No?
So, no, I looked this up, so I have it for you. It was a Sid and Marty Krofft. You don't remember Sid and Marty Krofft. They did things like Sigmund and the Sea Monsters and, a lot of H&R Puffin stuff. No, that doesn't mean anything to you, does it?
The term does.
Okay, so, yes, there was a Saturday morning cartoon that I watched when I was a kid, but I didn't know it was based on a TV show. It wasn't until we got cable a few years later that I found out Gilligan's Island was a show all on its own. So after Gilligan's Island, there was Dusty's Trail, which was it had Bob Denver and Forrest Tucker in it. And it was basically Gilligan's Island, except on a wagon train to the west or whatever.
All right.
It was it even says on the Wikipedia page, it was a Western-themed reworking of Denver's previous series, Gilligan's Island.
That's hilarious.
And then Far Out Space Nuts came out at some point in the 70s. I just want you to check out. So this is Bob Denver, and they cast a guy who's like a big guy like the skipper, but it's not the skipper. Look how they ended up. They were just like delivery workers for NASA. They weren't supposed to be on the spaceship at all.
Breakfast. Lunch. I said lunch, not lunch!
So, yeah, it's basically these two yahoos, and they land on a different planet every week.
That's Honk.
He looks. They had I forgot they had an alien friend named Honk who kind of looked like an Alf that had been in a terrible accident. No, I wasn't thinking about the cartoon. It was a live action Sid and Marty Krofft deal.
Nice. Actually, let's wait on these neckline calls and let me finish the news because these neckline. I will never finish the news then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
If you just go into neckline calls, we'll end up talking about that. We'll hit the break and we'll be like, whoa, what were we talking about? All right.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Archaeologists in Scotland say they found evidence of Merlin last week.
Merlin?
Yeah. King Arthur's trusty magic user was said to have been buried along the River Tweed, and a new geological survey of the region detected a grave-light wizard's pit.
What is a wizard's pit?
Okay, I may have included the wizard part, but they said a grave-like pit.
Wizard's pit.
The Life of Merlin of the Forest is a medieval manuscript held in the British Library, and it says that Merlin died in the Drumbleshire region after a long period of imprisonment. The new tomb was found in the location exactly mentioned in the manuscript.
Well, beside the river, was it more direct than that?
It said in the Drumbleshire region.
No, it sounds like in the county of is what it sounds like.
Well, the results of the 2-year study of the area were just published last week.
You got to dig him up and see if he has a long white beard. If he doesn't have a long white beard, it's not Merlin. Right, Joanna? Right. Preferably, he's got like a pointy hat with stars on it.
Anyways, the results of the 2-year study were published last week in Archaeology Reports online.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
When is King Arthur supposed to have happened? I mean, because we have records going back 1,000 years at least.
This is actually very interesting. I wonder. I was planning on doing this for an AfterBuzz one time.
That was about the Roman Empire, and it turns out like it was during Roman times,
right?
When the legend of King Arthur, like when the Romans ruled England,
right?
Which is true, or is none of it true?
Well, they have King Arthur was probably a historical, real figure. They have a name for him and everything. But
Uther Pendragon.
All of those names are in the historical record. But it's 600s to 800. Like around the Romans would have still been,
It's in the historical record known as Monty Python and the Life and
of course
and the Holy Grail.
Yes, of course. All right, moving on.
The Lady of the Lake held aloft the sword Excalibur.
Okay. Well, the South Korean South Korea has a plummeting birth rate, but there are strollers wherever you look in South Korea. But instead of walking their babies, South Koreans are pampering their puppies. Sales of pet strollers have skyrocketed as young people put off having kids in favor of getting a dog or a cat.
All right. So
I got a puppy.
Would you like a stroller for your puppy?
Nah, she's fine.
But what about a stroller for the cats?
Because Junior should get one, for sure.
So you could take and they have little hooks where or like little things where you could put the leash so they don't jump out.
Oh my God, Junior would love that.
Don't forget who you are. You're a childless cat lady, not a childless dog lady.
No, yeah, I still have cats.
Sales of pet strollers have shot past baby strollers this year
in South Korea.
Like they're selling more pet strollers than baby
hilarious.
strollers. Now, while Americans are going overboard on their fur babies as well, South Korea's birth rate is so low, it's at a third of the level needed to maintain the population.
They're like, we're good.
They're in a population decreasing right now, not increasing stage.
Decreasing.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, people talk about it, and I referenced the thing J.D. Vance said about childless cat ladies.
Thank you.
Better for the planet, right? If they're...
I mean,
we've got 8
like we
billion
could go
people now. It
a
seems
while
like
without new ones coming in, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying everybody quit having kids altogether, but if you don't feel like it, you don't feel like it's right for you, thank you is what the rest of us should be saying. Yeah, more air for us. More oil, more AI, more everything else for us. I don't know why everybody gets so upset like we don't have enough people on Earth. We got plenty of people on Earth.
Let me get the stroller for my cat.
Well, cat for my birthday. All right, apple juice is getting a recall that began with Walmart's Great Value brand that is sold in 25 states, and that recall is expanding. That's right, apple juice, ladies and gentlemen.
Apple juice is bad.
The issue, though, is high levels of arsenic, which is toxic. Other brands added to the recall are sold by Aldi, BJ's, Market Basket, Walgreens, and Weiss Markets. The FDA has updated the recall list, and manufacturer Refresco has the info on their website.
The apple juice that we get, and maybe you can tell me if I describe it, is the one that the bottle is shaped like a little apple.
Have you tried biting it? It sounds like you're biting into an apple.
No.
It's plastic.
Martinelli's. I love that apple juice.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
The bottles look like
bottles
round
look like
apples.
little apples,
and
and when you bite into the bottle, it sounds like you're crunching
I
into
thought
a bottle.
Martinelli's were the champagne-looking ones that you would
No,
get.
that's Welch's, I think.
What?
Okay, what
You guys are blowing
possessed
my
you
mind.
to
Because
bite into a plastic bottle?
TikTok.
They said bite into it, and it sounds like you're biting
and
an apple.
then I got the bottle, and when you bite into it, it sounds like you're crunching into an apple.
You bit into a plastic bottle because of something TikTok told you to do.
Yes.
Okay.
And finally, the airline Air Baltic has made a serious mistake of letting the public name 48 of their planes.
Oh no, Crashy McCrash face. I just know how the internet works.
Well, the company thought it would be safe to have people choose from a list of actual Baltic town names, but no. 2 of the names, even in English, refer to a woman's genitals.
Okay.
The first
Virgin Airlines. Bush beer.
The first of these newly named aircraft are expected to take flight in early 2025, and the airline is sticking with the names.
Do they give us the
Do they tell
names?
us the names?
Dude, you can't bring up a story like this and not reveal what the names were.
I'm not okay.
Oh, do you want to?
I'm wondering if I can say it.
Oh,
Joanna, be on the ready.
One
yeah,
of-
put it in the.
No, I'm just going to
Skype.
say it,
In the
Joanna.
Skype.
Be ready because this will be faster. One is Kunda, Kunda.
But that's not a bad word as far as I know.
But it's pronounced Kunta.
What?
I get it.
It's pronounced with a hard K and with like a T sound on it.
Kunta.
Don't.
Okay.
I hear you try to say it.
And the second one is P-U with an umlaut, SSI.
Okay, so what does that word mean in Baltic?
It's the name of a city they have.
Oh, so they just picked names that sounded like if they did it, we would pick Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Pussy. What? I said the name of a town in a city in a Baltic region. What are you guys laughing about?
Pussy.
Puss.
With the accent.
Yeah.
Is that Italian? No.
No, it's Baltic.
It's Baltic. And with the news, I'm Nico.
All right, couple of calls.
Hey, you guys were talking about that LA wildfire that's burning 27 square miles of grass, but I think Nico burns more grass than that in a weekend. All right, guys.
You would be surprised.
27 acres.
Because I have been able to get away with so much less recently. Honestly, I don't need to shop at the grocery store more than
what's the point you're making?
Yeah, what are you trying to say, my love?
We're talking about your.
I know.
How many?
And I'm
weeds
saying
you
I
burn.
don't. I'm saying that I don't. That I am very restrictive.
What does that have
now.
to do with the grocery store?
That's what I'm calling it. I'm not going to call it what it really is.
Manimus Spencer.
Right.
Yeah, the green department.
The green grocer.
The green grocer.
There you go. Let's bring back that term.
The green grocer.
Yeah.
You know, like once a month. I don't even see them that often.
They open another green grocer place over in Sunland Park, man.
Hey, good morning show. Yeah, those prices are bad, but
This call, I need to back up and say we were going through the list of the average beer prices in NFL Stadium. For a beer and a hot dog, the average is
$15.
$15
For beer and a hot
for
dog.
a beer and a hot dog. Now, was that what it was? There were some of them that were up there like $19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to double check this real quick.
You did the story.
I know, but I forgot. The average $15.02. You were right. Okay, so he's calling about that.
Okay.
Yeah, those prices are bad, but do you know which ones are worse? Wherever you get a hot dog and a beer here at the Don Haskins, whenever you go to a concert, man. Bowl and beer will put you back about, $12, and it's not even a tall boy. It's a really ridiculous sized little ass beer.
Joanna, you've been to some Don Haskins concerts more recently than I have. Is that what a beer goes for at a concert at the Don Haskins
I don't
Center?
know. I'm over there paying for the $10 lemonade.
Oh, if lemonade's $10, then
lemonade? You mean lemon, sugar, and water?
Lemon, sugar,
no vodka.
water.
Or anything.
No vodka.
Now there, you're looking for a bill of about $150 for one night. You might as well just go pre-game to the concert. Now that's expensive. All right, later, guys.
No, people do that.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude.
That's why it has a term for it and everything else.
All right, I've got to address something. Derek Terry, who I love so much.
Yeah.
I love his email.
So much.
You have really been a bee in his bonnet all morning long.
Yeah, I don't know why. But anyways, Derek says, Kunta, what the hell, you angel-haired Armenian racist?
Angel-haired?
Which that's just...
There's one that he said earlier that says, why is Nico always surprised brothers be talking right?
You know what I explained to him?
What'd you say?
You don't, when you hear, okay, do you want me to say what that was?
Yes, please tell me what you said to me off air.
When you play a clip of somebody like Tyreek Hill, who was arrested, and you talk about like how eloquent they sound, that is like a racist code. It's like,
why would you mention that?
Right.
Why
I was
are
talking.
you surprised?
I was talking about football players. I was like,
in
wow,
general.
he is better spoken, more well spoken than Tom Brady.
Yeah, but you never said
Romo.
You never said that about Tom Brady or Tony Romo, though.
I thought everybody knew they sounded like idiots. Like they don't speak in the way that he spoke.
Here's Tyreek Hill.
I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro?
I want to point out that he uses the word bruh throughout the thing. So
I almost ignore that these days, but yeah.
My daughter does it
That's
a
what
lot.
my nephew calls me.
Tyreek Hill was put handcuffs.
Yeah.
I don't know if arrested is the right word, but he was put in handcuffs, put face down on the ground just a few blocks from the stadium, and then he scored an 80-yard touchdown return. But here's Tyreek Hill.
I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? It's crazy. Like, I want to be a cop one day. I got a state trooper, had all that, so I got a lot of respect for cops, man. But figure out a way to, like, flip this and, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, so that way we can team together and, do something positive for the community, because that's what it's all about, bro. I have a platform, and I want to be able to team up with you guys, so that's all I got to say.
I guess what I was trying to get is that for a football player to be talking about an incident like this that involves the police, that isn't in the realm of sports, and it sounds like he was getting this interview, I don't know, like on the side where
it was post-game,
like to be on the to speak like that on the top of off the top of the head, and just like really.
I think you're complimenting him for making a coherent statement.
I'm complimenting him for making a social justice statement that was like, yeah, why not flip this entire situation around?
I have no idea, for real. No idea, man. It's crazy. It wasn't disrespectful, because my mom didn't raise me that way. Didn't cuss. Didn't do none of that. So, like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out, man.
I guess the police officer was put on administrative leave. Were you aware of that?
Nah, I wasn't. That should tell you everything you need to know then. You feel me? It should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, what a crazy situation. Anyways, thanks for informing me, Buzz.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Thank you, Derek.
Derek and I.
You angel-haired.
Why does angel hair mean?
Like a cherub.
Or angel hair is very thin pasta, so maybe it's thin as angel hair.
Pasta?
Also, angels are people
who has referred to hair? Oh, like angel hair pasta.
Okay.
Now I get it.
Yeah,
who has referred to angel hair as pasta? Oh, maybe the people that came up with angel hair pasta. Okay, yeah.
Also, angels are people who've died, so maybe he's saying your hair has died.
Would you say
there's so many ways it could have gone?
I'm somewhat of a cherubic figure.
Like those naked little angels?
Yeah, like a naked little fat baby.
Yeah.
Good morning show. I'll try to keep this quick. I'm a high school teacher, and this Tyreek Hill incident really hits home. Society tends to make a final judgment based off a 30-second video, and this really frustrates me. There was a video a while back of a substitute teacher who had his hands around a student's neck, and the public automatically sided with the student because our children are angels. Well, they're not. I'm not saying teachers should put their hands around a student's neck or hit them, but my question is, what happened before the video started recording? Tyreek Hill is a hero to many. He's a gifted athlete living an amazing life most of us can only dream of, so by the laws of the ignorance, he can do no wrong. Once again, the video clip only shows the arrest and nothing prior to the incident. I would like to see the video clip when Tyreek Hill was randomly chosen by the police officer to harass. Because, after all, Tyreek Hill is a hero, therefore an angel, right?
Well, I mean, the only 30 seconds of video that I've seen are just a bunch of officers gathered around, and they have to put an arrow to show you where Tyreek Hill is. Yeah, of course, there's always another side to the story.
I'm not saying racism does not exist, because it does. I'm not saying there are no bad cops or bad teachers out there, because there are. What I'm saying is, do not pass judgment on an incident based on a short video clip. Cops and teachers are not very popular because...
Were we taking any... Well, I guess you were. Are we taking an extreme pro Tyreek Hill position on this?
Was
I guess you were, yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? I don't know.
Maybe he was going... What if he was
I was
going...
just talking about how I thought...
What if he was going 90 miles an hour?
Is he saying... Dude, you're the one who brought this up. You were like the pro... whatever.
Yeah, well, I guess they said that he was pulled over for speeding.
I just said I thought he said a nice statement and apparently offended
Cops
an entire
and
race
teachers
of
are
people.
not very popular because they exercise authority. And many people out there have a problem with authority.
I think I do. I think I have all my life. I got a real problem. As soon as somebody tells me you can't do that, you produce my show.
Know. Yeah.
A sure way to get me to do something
I
is
tell
tell me
you
not.
break, and you're like, I'm not going to break.
Because you're authority, man. I fight
You're the
authority,
man.
but authority always wins.
Which probably...
That was by the poet John Cougar Mellencamp. Authority always wins.
American Poet Laureate.
Home, forcing them to conclude that the officer or teacher is in the wrong. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Have a good day.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll look into this more. The one of the arresting officers or one of the officers involved was put on administrative duties. We know that much. But beyond that, we really don't know a whole lot about it. Let's see. I know I had a couple other calls. We had a call about them finding Merlin's grave. The grave of Merlin. What did you call it? A wizard's pit?
Yeah, a wizard pit.
Wizard's pit, you say? That sounds like Merlin's nickname for Guinevere.
Wizard's pit.
And Derek
hey,
wrote
Lancelot,
back,
you been in that wizard pit lately?
And Derek wrote back to say that the angel-haired Armenian racist comment would definitely refer to the pasta. Very thin and wispy.
Yeah, okay.
Pasta.
Thin and wispy.
And delicious with marinara.
Okay. Debates tomorrow, guys.
It is.
Do we need a break? Are we up against the break?
Should.
I have an Am I the A-hole?
We'll get to Am I the A-hole. Also, you were going to tell us something. There's a new lifestyle choice out there.
Oh, soft swinging.
Called soft swinging.
Which is opposite of...
Well, let me tell you
hard
this.
swinging?
And
hard swinging, yeah.
I'll warn anybody out there. If soft swinging, you'll never make it to the major leagues. You got to swing hard. That's all I'm saying.
Tomorrow, it's the battle to end all battles. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris in a steel cage fight for the ages.
I'm going to defeat you very badly. That I can tell you.
Well, I'm the one who's going to defeat you. And defeat sounds like the feet, which, I have two of them. It's important to take care of your feet. Some people have athlete's foot. Some people like Joe, they have stinky feet.
What are you talking about?
You don't want to miss this no-holds-barred battle in the octagon.
You're going down, Kamala.
No, you're going down. And speaking of down, that's what you call the type of pillow that has feathers in it, right? It's a down pillow. I know how to get down. And, pillows are fluffy. So are marshmallows. They're fluffy, delicious. Ooh, s'mores are good. Think about that. camping. Sometimes I go camping.
Does anybody have any earplugs?
Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Don't miss it.
Hey, this is Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from Ozzy to
Because it's looking out for you. The sign of a better business.
Find a better business anytime at bbb.org El Paso.
They make you laugh every day. They keep you up to date on all the news. They're just fun to listen to.
Buzz Adams, mornings on the Q.
Buzz, what a cute little name.
This is the morning show on 95.5 KLAQ.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Were you turned down?
Yeah, I was turned down for what?
Joanna, he had his whole mic turned down.
It's because his tummy keeps hitting the buttons and stuff.
He's been in
Hey,
radio.
guys, I'm the one who called about the Tyreek Hill and teacher clip incident. That was not directed at you. That was directed towards your caller, who was insinuating it was a race issue. Sorry I didn't make that clear. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we had a prior call that really went to town on the police officers, and I said the same thing then. We don't know all the facts of what happened. Maybe some of those facts will come out, but we don't know. But Tyreek Hill was released and made it to the stadium in time for the game, returned one for 80 yards, helping the Miami Dolphins defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Nico's going to tease, let us know what his Am I the A-hole is, and then you're going to talk about a new lifestyle that you've heard about called soft swinging.
Yeah, I'm going to tease my a-hole.
And also, one other thing Derek told us, did you guys hear about the pesticide that ended up in some New Mexico marijuana?
I did.
Yeah. I'll talk about that for a second.
I assume
they probably put pesticides on everything you eat. It had pesticides unless you go to like a hippie farmer's market or something.
Well, I'm just saying, like, when you were buying it from a dude in the parking lot at Walmart.
Right. Yeah. You didn't care what it had on it.
Yeah.
Right. But I'll give you some of the details. So tell us just a little bit, just the title of today's Am I the A-hole?
Just the tip, yeah. Actually, today is a choice for you two. One is dealing with a relationship between a college couple, 22 years old, I should say this, a woman and her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend. And then the other one is about a family issue. It's about a 16-year-old having issues with his parents and his 6 siblings.
And the 16-year-old wants to know if he's the a-hole?
Yes.
I guess, I don't know.
It's up to you, Joanna. Buzz?
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, I would say to the guy who's, am I the a-hole we didn't answer, you're 16, you probably are kind of an a-hole. You just, the odds are, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. Am I the a-hole for the 16-year-old one? He says, am I the a-hole for what I told my parents when they announced they were having another baby? By the way, they already have 7 kids.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
And the other one is, am I the a-hole for refusing to wear a skimpy maid's outfit to an exclusive party
I saw a headline about this.
that my friend got invited to?
Well, if it's making headlines, we better take that one.
All right.
Wait, though.
I will. Because we got to talk about soft swinging.
A marijuana dispensary in Sunland Park received products that have been recalled because of high levels of a prohibited pesticide that was found on the plant. It's one of those in Sunland Park. It's one of those. It's actually might have been one of the originals. Our Greenleaf dispensary.
One of the first ones.
Was ordered to remove a strain of marijuana grown by Maggie's Farm after a health and safety advisory was issued by the NMCCD, the New Mexico Cannabis Control Division.
You know what? Whatever the story comes out to be, it's whatever. But if anything, what I love this story for is how the system is working. Like, this is the point of having a legalized form for anything, is that you have testing, quality control, so that when an issue comes up, they can issue a recall.
And make it safer.
They can make it safer.
And by the way, this is a recall over a pesticide. Now, it's not an approved pesticide, but it's not fentanyl.
Right, exactly. So anybody who's saying, look, this is exactly why we shouldn't have legalized marijuana, to me it goes, this is exactly why we should have it.
You guys probably aren't old enough to remember, but there was a legitimate cause celeb about 30 years ago over apples and a pesticide called Alar.
Yeah.
And you had Meryl Streep testifying before Congress and everything. But at one point they were worried about the pesticides on your apples. So, yeah, I wouldn't freak out too much over this.
No, this is actually a great sign, because would you rather not being informed at all? Would you rather this being swept under the table? No.
All right, there's a new lifestyle out there that Nico is going to, with this music playing in the background, describe to us. He's going to tell us all about, Joanna, soft swinging.
Soft swinging.
That's right.
All right.
Soft swinging.
Put on like a sultry voice, Nico, as you do this.
Hello to all you kittens and cougars out there. What is soft swinging? Well, you may have remembered where you were when you found out about the Mom Talk scandal. No?
What? What kind of scandal?
Well, it's called the Mom Talk scandal, and it is a scandal that involves several moms.
Is this about the Mormon moms?
Yep.
Okay.
Several moms. Who showcased Okay, it's about Mormon moms who showcased their families and were constantly showing off their mom skills on TikTok. Okay, actually, just turn this off.
I know what you're talking about.
Just turn this off because it's
mom skills.
Okay, thank you.
You don't want me to do that?
Yeah, no, it's just
too
distracting. Yeah, it's just distracting.
How about just the music?
Yeah,
keep
the
it
music.
Keep it low though.
Yeah. Let's get back in bed with Nico.
I'm back.
Okay, well.
What did he tell you?
Okay, so one of these moms, Taylor Frankie Paul.
Is that three dudes' first names or one woman's
That's
name?
one woman. Hey, it's Taylor, Frankie, and Paul. We gotta.
That could be the infield for a baseball team.
So she announced via TikTok to all of her fans that she had engaged in soft swinging with some members of the other moms.
The Mormon Mom Club.
Yes. All of this is going to be coming out in a new Hulu show called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
It's pushing that on me, and I'm so tempted to watch it.
Yes.
Wait. So do they maintain that they're very religious?
They're Mormon.
They're Mormons, and yes, they do retain. So, Joanna,
but
I
they're
think,
like New Age Mormons.
You know what, Joanna? What we're not explaining to Buzz. Buzz is probably not even picturing the TikToks that they got famous from. What are they? Why were they getting famous from these TikToks?
Oh, I'm familiar with them.
Okay, tell me what they were.
Don't know. I have no idea.
So you weren't familiar.
No,
so you don't know.
That was the other guy. That wasn't me.
Okay. Well, you know how like influencers get followers by
like
showcasing
trad wives type of stuff.
Specifically, yeah, I guess you could say, but not trad wife, no. But like, it was this group of moms, Mormon moms. And
I saw Big Love on HBO. So
no, it's nothing like that. It's
I got to be honest. I don't really know what they got famous for, but they started this whole trend called Mom Talk.
They would get on TikTok. It's hashtag Mom Talk. They would talk about their kids, and then they would have each other in their videos. So it was a group of like 7 moms. They would be in each other's videos.
So it kind of made it look
Can you
like
imagine
they were
being
this
stuck on a plane with somebody who won't stop talking about their kids for the entire flight?
It's these people.
This has got to be like that. It's just
So they were
terrible.
They all got famous off of the recipes and the snacks they make for their kids and the activities and the playtimes and this and that.
Right.
It looked wholesome.
And it just so happened to be they were all Mormon and they were moms and they were
What does that mean?
That's hard swinging.
Stupid.
Little S&M.
Anyway, so they're all friends. They're all in each other's social groups.
You just cannot deal with the sexy voice, can you?
It just takes me off the point of what we're trying to talk about.
It throws him off a little.
It just throws me off. Like, yeah, go into whatever you're doing. I guess do that instead.
Aw, pay attention to Nico.
Okay. So they're all
very wholesome.
Very
is what it
wholesome.
Right.
sounds like.
And so now they have this show on Hulu that's coming out, or I think it's already out.
It's already out, called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Because it started this whole thing, right, Nico?
Yeah,
where they were
because
like,
she came out and said this to her fans on TikTok. She said, we've been engaging with each other's husbands. The wives and the husbands have been swapping a little, and we've been doing soft swinging. And the other Mormon wives and moms tried to disavow the whole thing, and they were like, no. But then it all came out that they were getting divorces. Some of them were getting divorces here. Like, go on, and I'll.
Buzz
Thank you
has
for
his
raising your
hand up.
hand. I appreciate that, actually. Yeah, go for it.
I forgot what I was going to ask.
See, that's the
I
point.
need to ask it at the time.
I knew it was going to be so superfluous and stupid that I had to keep going. No,
you already forgot, Buzz?
Oh, can I guess what soft swinging is?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, right. Here we go.
Letting your husband bang another woman, but you don't participate in it.
No, that's just swinging.
That's, I think, swinging.
No. Swinging is when you swap. No?
Swing is when you swap wives. You don't have to be there when you swap.
Oh, I thought it was like, threesomes and foursomes.
Soft swinging.
All right.
Soft swinging.
Okay.
They only dry hump?
You know what? That's a good way of thinking of it. You're right. No, you're not wrong.
You see?
Yeah.
What, Buzz?
You said dry hump.
Yeah.
I don't know what other technical terms it
No,
is.
you're right.
That's the only term there is
It's
for
when
it.
when you consent
No.
to or engage in non-penetrative sexual acts with others.
What's the point?
While kissing,
Dry humping.
oral, or digital sex are allowed, vaginal or back shots are off the table.
So basically, like heavy petting, third base, rounded third, maybe headed for
high
home.
schoolers.
Mm-hmm. Also,
that's soft swinging.
Also, the partner has to be there,
watching or participating.
Either or.
See, because that sounds more like swinging to me.
You're thinking of the thing where like two couples get together and they do things at the same time.
Sure.
No, swinging these days is where you just kind of switch.
Okay, that's called cheating as well.
Not if both know about it.
Both parties know about it. Okay,
Right. There's
the
swinging.
distinction.
Yeah. So that's it.
But they're not
And
going all the way.
They are not.
because of religious reasons. Because I'm pretty sure
just because they're saying these are boundaries that like us as a friend group. So all these moms were doing this kind of stuff with the different husbands.
Like, I'll let you dry hump my husband, but don't you dare have actual sex with him.
But you said that oral was on the table.
Yeah. Oral
and
digital, which apparently analog is not for them.
Maybe analog.
But the whole friend group blew up.
Blew what?
Blew up when this Taylor Frankie Paul.
I gotta watch this.
Don't laugh at your own jokes. It does not.
I'm laughing at Joanna's response.
No, don't laugh at your own. You're laughing at your own joke. It's in bad taste. It's in very poor taste. All of this blew up when Taylor Frankie Paul actually broke the rules and started sleeping with another husband.
Full on.
One of them went too far. Wait, and then the other wife wasn't there to see that?
Who was the one who outed everything?
She did when she did it on TikTok. And
but all
How did
the
they
other moms
find
were in
out?
on it.
she blew the whistle on all the other moms.
She's
a lot
like,
of
yeah,
blowing going
I
on in
banged
this
that
story.
dude, but everyone else is soft swinging.
Yes, that's exactly what she said.
I gotta watch this show.
And so she's divorced from her husband. She is now with the other wife's husband.
And did the other couple just say, well, we might as well be together?
No, I don't think so.
I gotta say, I'm not all that surprised by these moaning Mormon mamas. You know, Mormonism is a fertility cult, right? Remember all that polygamy stuff? Fertility cult. You know, they believe that they're going to get their own. If you're a good Mormon, you get your own planet, and you have endless sex with all your wives, so you can inhabit it with your spirit children. They actually believe in that. So yeah, they're a fertility cult, among other things. Nice people, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Nice people, though.
That's what I learned. Of course, I learned it from a Baptist church that Mormons believe eventually, if they become good enough, they get their own planet, that they're God, and they get to be a god of their own planet. And
With all their children?
if that is not true, then I apologize for repeating false information about the Church of Latter-day Saints. There. Covered my bases on that.
Well, I think we all learned something new today.
Please watch the show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, because all of them are going to be on it, even the one that outed the other moms. One of the moms her last name is Affleck.
Just like the actor or just like the duck?
The actor, because...
Wait a minute, is she related to Ben Affleck?
She is the wife of his cousin.
The wife of his cousin.
So the cousin is in
How'd
the
that
show?
cousin get all the way out to Utah from Boston is what I want to know.
You know what's weird? It's like it's like a part of the family that I guess he doesn't talk to that much anymore, but she brings up that she's just like J-Lo all the time. So yeah, that is soft swinging.
All right.
Interesting.
Now give me the title of the Am I the A-hole when we come back.
Sure. Am I the a-hole for refusing to wear a skimpy maid outfit to an exclusive party that my friend got invited to?
A skimpy maid outfit. All right. We'll find out and we'll get your thoughts. Don't forget, you can leave us a neckline message anytime you feel like. That number's 844-805-NECK, 844-805-6325, or call us directly in the studio. It's 915-910-4995 to talk to us live.
Hey, it's Chuck, your host for Loudwire Nights. Tonight at 7, we will rock the borderland with the best rock ever made and the best rock being made. Special guests, birthday and anniversary celebrations, and every night at 10.
Open till midnight or later.
You chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Hours may vary by location.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Only talk to God when I need a favor.
Yeah, jelly roll tonight.
And I only pray when I ain't got a prayer.
Look out for Joanna.
I'm going to be crying the whole time.
Who the hell am I to expect a savior?
Did you get good seats or?
I don't know where my seats are.
Oh, they're
you don't go check them out.
They're
on the
floor seats. I looked at them already.
No, they're not.
No.
I got the choice, and I told our boss I can't do floor anymore. I need a seat.
You need a place to sit.
I got to sit.
After a little while, you need to take a load off the old feet.
Yes.
Right.
Hardcover King James, only been saving.
I hope he brings out his wife.
Bunny XO?
Yes. I love Bunny.
All right. So, Nico, are you ready for our Am I the A-hole scenario?
I am ready for it, but I do have to mention that people have been replying in our app chat saying that you're wrong about Mormons getting their own planet.
Well, I did a Google search, and it's kind of a gray area among the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints about whether you literally get your own planet. So, but I might watch these swinging Mormon ones.
Well, the person is saying he thinks that this show is dumb because it's not a Mormon thing to have these type of lives. It's just these ladies are whatever and happen to be LDS and are stupid. He wouldn't be surprised if the church excommunicates them for this. I imagine this person sounds like they're from the church.
Yeah, like maybe an official or an elder, as they're known.
Duchesne in the app chat, which interesting name, says there was a Mormon epidemic among teens called soaking.
That was soaking.
No, I've heard of that.
It's where it's penetrative sex that requires no movement after penetration. You just kind of sit and stay.
Why?
Because it's a loophole for getting around sex. They don't believe it's technically sex if you don't.
Well, I hear they have special underwear. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah,
thing?
that one I'm pretty sure is true.
All right. All right, we got to hurry it up. We only have 10 or 12 minutes left.
Oh, Joanna. Oh my God, we don't. Oh my gosh. Okay,
go.
Okay, so I'm a 22-year-old who lives with my friend, and she's 22, and she just met a guy at a beach party. She is obsessed with him because he Yes.
Are you doing a girl voice? Are you reading as the person?
Kind of am,
okay, so
yeah.
that's kind of like how you imagine a college-age girl would talk. Okay,
Kind of.
so
Thank
she
you.
met a guy.
And keep raising your hand for questions.
Yes.
I like this
All
system. Okay. So she's become obsessed with him because he comes from a well-known, well-off family and has a certain level of status.
Oh.
She told me that they were soft dating. Excuse me, sort of dating.
Soft dating.
And
sort of dating for a lot of things.
And
now.
obviously, I've been supportive of her as a friend. I've met him a few times, side note, and I don't hold a good opinion. I didn't tell her, though, because, she's my friend and I didn't want to be negative. Anyways, he's throwing a party soon and invited my friend. And he asked her to bring me along. He said it was a themed party and everyone would be assigned a character or style to wear. So he sent my friend the picture of our outfits, and it turned out it was 2 skimpy as hell maid costumes sprawled on a bed.
Okay.
A French maid?
Yes. I immediately told her that I would not be wearing that, and especially not to a party with a bunch of strangers. Initially, she thought I was just kidding. She said that wearing these fits the theme, and it's not a big deal, and I need to stop being so prudish and serious.
Is the boyfriend also a college student at the same school?
They met on a beach.
22. I'm not even sure if they're in college. They might be in post-grad or something else.
All right.
Yeah, they met at a beach. They're not even
so let's
boyfriend. They're soft dating.
It's not official.
Yeah.
But I gotta give my answer already.
She said,
you're allowed to feel uncomfortable about whatever you feel uncomfortable about, and if your friend is trying to guilt
prudish,
you,
though, is she being kind of prudish for this kind of party?
She is not comfortable with it, and we know, at least some of the reasons she doesn't really like the boyfriend. She doesn't want to be in a position where she's dressed in skimpy clothing.
Yeah, where
That's
somebody tells you, this is what you're wearing.
Let me
And
finish.
it's this
Nobody can
little
tell you
maid
what you're
outfit.
wearing.
I have
and
30 seconds.
Go,
Let me finish.
go.
No more questions from you. No more interruptions. I told her that I told her that it's very humiliating that this guy thinks it's okay to request 2 women to wear this to a party.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you're asking girls who are clearly not as rich as you to dress up as maids to your party.
Oh, wait, the dude's rich?
He said in the beginning that the girl
Thank
says
you,
he's
Joanna.
rich from a really rich family.
I asked her if she seriously sees nothing wrong with it, and she said no. She explained
she's
that
blinded because she likes the guy.
she explained that
dollar signs in her eyes. I mean,
no more questions or comments.
Sorry.
She explained that he has just a weird taste and that it might be a weird rich person thing. I told her again that I would not be wearing some skimpy ass maid costume. Not only is it embarrassing, it's disrespectful, blah, 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 blah. I told her, I'm not going. We had a massive argument, and she said I'm lame, boring, killjoy, and that I'm not a supportive friend. She said that instead of helping her, I'm ruining everything.
Yeah, you're getting peer pressured. She's peer pressuring you into doing a thing you don't feel comfortable with. You're not the a-hole.
When she told the guy that I was refusing to participate, he even asked her if getting paid for it would change my mind.
Well, come on.
Oh, my God.
That made it even worse.
Yeah.
Apparently, he told her that I have the right attitude about everything, which makes no sense. All right. Anyways, am I the a-hole?
Very clearly not. But Joanna, go ahead. I want to hear from you. You're a female.
Not the a-hole.
For the same reasons that I laid out.
Okay.
And then I want to pay you to dress up as a sexy man. At that
she
point,
doesn't want to do it. Let me throw some money at her, and maybe she'll be tempted to.
What's next? He's going to break out Rohypnol at the party.
I have a devil's advocate opinion on this.
Of course you do.
Tune in tomorrow to... No, go ahead. Make it quick.
I remember pimps and hose parties in high school. So
yeah, but that was optional.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't make any of the hose dress like those.
Did you dress as a pimp?
I did.
Well, what do you really think?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, of course. You don't pressure somebody into doing something sexual that they don't feel like doing. That's
especially if you're like a rich jockey, kind of like already at like, dude, this is a gross look.
I would start thinking seriously about whether you wanted to remain friends with the friend who was trying to pressure you into doing this. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm going to get new keys made so we don't get locked out of the office. And we will talk to you tomorrow. So long until then.
You know what I think? I think you talk too much. Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, man, we're done.